educate and plead your case for what he's sure. We all standing attention at the breadline. You got the podium, now preach it to the bloodline.
Cheers and tip your hats to the twisted individuals. Here's the artifact cats feasting off the miserable. Invisible hand is a full animal, metaphysical. Filled to the brim, but still on hunt to starve the pitiful. Piss and moan in unison, unity is beautiful. United on a sinking ship, a mutiny, a funeral. You can see the humor in this picture of the future, so I drew an eye patch on Ulysses S. Useless. Granted it was stupid, $50 is exclusive, and it's all about the Benjamins, but Naki only proves it. Boost economy, then crash it when it suits. Money running rat races, lacing up our rented boots. What's the use? You should pick a sort of truth and observe the signs of sycamore, they plucked it from its roots. I speak in metaphor to keep you all amused, cause you stupid motherfuckers hear the truth and look confused. Like they federal takes our money, right? And they get printed. No, it's what they did, but it's not. They're like they're their own thing, but they're not the government. But they loan it to the government, right? And the government.
I know you could give a fuck of my opinions of things, but please save your speech of your visions and dreams. At least we can sit and shoot this shit at the bloodline. Save your passionate speech for the bloodline. I know you study more and understand what money's for. You want to educate and plead your case for what he's sure. We all standing attention at the bloodline. You got the podium, now preach it to the bloodline.
Automatics of perpetuated negative worth. Debt creation upon birth, only destined for worse. Every cent spent apprenticeship eventually learned that the currency your pension is invested in dirt. Purposeful diversion, so you worship the purse and appease the mighty rolling off perversions of work. This perversion of earth, the same as slaves building pyramids, like tax dollars paid for drone planes killing Syrians. Don't act all upset, you blindly follow Luciferians. Deception is the tool they use to build the major staring in. Question their intentions, it's unsettling to think. Animalistic in the ground, Nebuchadnezzar would be king, but the pride of their control is that their chains will never kink. You've accepted your imprisonment, now freedom is extinct. You can lead a man to water, but he's never learned to drink. So instead prescribing medicine that simulates a sink.
I know you can give a fuck of my opinions of things, but please save your speech of your visions and dreams. At least we can sit and shoot this shit at the bloodline. Save your passionate speech for the bloodline. I know you study more and understand what money's for. You want to educate and plead your case for what he's sure. We all standing attention at the bloodline. You got the podium, now preach it to the bloodline.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
They say the ending is upon us. Don't believe the hype. You're sure to see a lot before you ever see the light. See, this is gonna be a little slower than you thought. It's obvious that you never thought at all. I pulled the curtain to the side, show you puppets on a string. See, the puppet master owns everyone that's underneath, and the only purpose is to persuade you how to think. Before you know it, you're a slave, and they labeled you a sheep. That's the same corporation putting poison in your drink. Modify the food supply to make the population shrink, and they fund the politicians that write the policies, and they write the textbook that teach about the missing link. It's lights out, they cut power to my next line. We're all doing bedtime by waiting on the bread line, staring at the clock, waiting for the deadline. If it isn't bedtime, then save your stories for the breadline. Yeah, save your stories for
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Money makes the world go round, it makes the world end. Money makes the world go round, it makes the world end.
America has been called the land of opportunity and justly so. Where else in the world has the great opportunity for honest work exist in such a boundless degree than America? Where else can every man find a just fight for his labor? Yes, my friends, I say to you that a real willingness to work has never gone unrewarded. That is for long.
It's a shame,
but it's always been the same.
yeah. Corrected Axiom, Northeast PA. Moses Flows, Stock Risk, yeah. Check it, yeah. Listen. I'm a sick bastard bringing a lyrical storm, a mastermind that'll leave you in the spiritual form. What you're hearing is songs painting a picture deformed, ancient wisdom of God, an indivisible force. Is it a vision? Of course. Get a visit from fate, get a halo, reach your doom, but this isn't a game. Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung while I'm shifting in shape. Mind staying on the run like a prison escape. Definition of vicious, I'm venomous with precision. A veteran in this business, you better listen, you bitches. Best bet for your survival is an act of contrition. If you acting homicidal, you just acting you isn't. Put yourself in the position where condition is critical. I'm a villain with syllables, not one slip up is visible. In my presence you're miserable, cause I speak from the pinnacle. Most high, you can never reach the peak that I've risen to.
Never walks tonight under a jealous sky. 10 men dead by the break of the dawn, and no one asking why. All the children cry for their father's name. It's such a shame, but it's always been the same.
It's always been the same. I'd walk alone, but I know the devil's with me. I could hear him on the phone, interference evidently. That was him in his appearance, disappearing before he gets me. Actually, he had me, that's why I was acting pissy. Cause when the devil touches negativity, it's clearly the sole emotion that I'm feeling, really feeling eerie. Don't want nobody near me. Need to be alone so I can fight the demon. On the evening, I was eating apples from the tree in Eden. I guess I had to eat them. I'm off the path that's beaten, and I ain't Adam. Can't persuade me, get your asses beaten. I can't lie, it's feeling odd when I'm getting even. But now we're on the same plane like when the flight is leaving. Sky's the limit, no longer cloudy when I'm flying in it. I'm never timid, my mind's moving at a mile a minute. I see you trying to get it, but you can never get it. I'm at a reach and triumphant like my final finish.
Who walks tonight
There he goes.
under a jealous sky? 10 men dead by the break of the dawn, and no one asking why. All the children cry for their father's name.
It's such a shame, but it's always been the same. It's always been the same.
If you lose reason, only reason you lose. All this word, spoken motives, fear, rebuke, controlled emotions, never over till it's over. Hold position like a soldier. If you lose reason, there's no reason for truth. All the words, spoken motives, fear, rebuke, controlled emotions, never over till it's over. Hold position like a soldier.
I've been awake, I benefit from being hell-bent to elevate. I develop mental melodies to celebrate. We can tap our feet and nod our heads to beat this hellish state. Jealous fakers belly aching, reeking with the smell of hate. I see a beacon on horizon, keep propelling straight. We can all agree it's an oasis, what the hell at stake? Any place is better than this place we face together, where the rain maintains forever with no way to blame the weather. I'm sick of seeing people reap the freakish pleasures by unleashing their allegiance to beliefs to be the lesser. Teacher each professor that profess to speak a lecture. We can second guess the method, never measuring the pressure. Assess the texture of the fortitude you feel. Paint a picture with your words, ensure the sword you choose is real. It's more important to be born than die. Force supports a shield, ignore distortions to your vision while we orbit in this wheel.
If you lose reason, only reason you lose. All this word, spoken motives, fear, rebuke, controlled emotions, never over till it's over. Hold position like a soldier. If you lose reason, there's no reason for truth. All the words, spoken motives, fear, rebuke, controlled emotions, never over till it's over. Hold position like a soldier.
They say I'm no longer relevant. Take advantage of it while you think I'm benevolent. I gave you the world thinking that would've settled it, but you wanted more, you'll take it all in. It's evident my soul is the evidence. Every move you ever made was only for your benefit. You're lying through your teeth and that's insulting my intelligence. I can't help it if I focus on the negative. In my world only negativity is prevalent. The mess is getting thick but we never mess with it. We stay medicated off of other people's medicine, as if that'll help. You're looking comatose, you wouldn't know it even if the end was coming close. My relevance is deeper than a needle holding dope. My every word is freezing cold, you see I'm breathing smoke. I'm never blowing smoke, notice there's a difference. A lie is secondary but reality is instant.
If you lose reason, only reason you lose. All this word, spoken motives, fear, rebuke, controlled emotions, never over till it's over. Hold position like a soldier. If you lose reason, there's no
we should probably start the show here. I mean, we could play songs all night, Moses, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome to Crypto and Chat. Snitches.
I am your humble host, Doc Risk.
You sounded like Bernie Sanders.
I am your humblest host, Doc Risk.
I am the humblest host ever.
Brown guy.
The brown guy. I am the resident brown guy. People will get angry at that for no reason.
You don't want me to intro both of us.
Yeah, go
if
ahead.
I'm Doc Risk.
Intro us both.
And Moses flows as Danny DeVito.
Doc Risk as Seymour Mack. And Moses flows as
a hairball
Moses
with a dirty hat. Look at that, dude. Check it out.
Oh, man, we're happy to be back. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, America?
We're starting large at the top of the show here. Huh? Starting large. We got lots of live viewers, man. 4 of them, to be exact.
Oh, all right. Hey, this is the time to share.
Hey, Sharon is Karen. Thank you for joining us. We have a special guest on the show. We're going to bring her in a couple minutes. Dionna Bailey from Nexus Earth. She is an ambassador of sorts. And we're going to talk about her Nexus World Tour she just went on. And we're going to try to kind of do a little timeline of Nexus milestones. And we're going to build a little case for Nexus we all know it's probably the most undervalued coin that there is.
We do know that.
We know that. And a lot of other people know that also. But it's just about putting it all together in layman's terms. Because if we have Colin on and we try to do this show, brains explode.
Yeah.
It's just...
I mean, I understand every word he says.
I bet you did.
Not everybody does.
What are you talking about? After that show, we went upstairs and you took 12 Advil.
I got a thesaurus. I got some Advil and a thesaurus. But, no, yeah.
Stacy, thank you, sir.
What up, Stacy?
Comms check. Good.
That's my dude.
We live. Fuck it. We do it live. Thank you for tuning in. Share the videos, baby. We are live streaming also on YouTube if you want to say fuck Facebook. We are not saying that because we're live on Facebook. But if you wanted to maybe, for now. That's for certain.
Until we move to DTube.
Until DTube, they'll never have a live stream platform.
DeepTube's got to do some things.
Going deep on the tubes.
Hey, just letting the ADD flow.
Okay.
Since
early on?
Yeah.
All right.
Because we said D2, I accidentally said DeepTube.
R2, D2?
R2.
You're not going to bring up...
I want to bring up Deep Onion.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up Mandela again.
That's for later.
This early? No, that's second half.
Dionna already unknowingly gave me the thumbs up to go into weirdo world.
We said it gets weird in the second half. She's like, I'm here however long. I'm like, okay. It's going to get weird, though.
I don't think I ever did this, so I'm going to go Moses Flow's shit coin of the week.
Oh,
right here in the beginning of the show. I never did this coin. This is not the one I had just discussed with you, because that's not a shit coin.
The one that I mentioned?
The one that I mentioned.
Oh.
To you before we went on the air.
Well, I said mana.
That's not a shit coin.
You said that's not a shit coin.
But we talked about it on the air already.
We did, yeah. I'm actually excited about a lot of my quote-unquote shit coins are kind of like game related. I got OK Cash, I got Mana, and Vox, which is rebranding as RVR or VRV. But they do like a block. I don't want to say they do a block. They do this virtual reality game where I think I saw one person's description of it where you actually be able to bet their coins live in the game. You'd be able to bet on other people fighting against each other. It's like a shooter game.
Yeah.
So they're in like the beginning stages now, but it's pretty exciting stuff.
That's very similar to Mana.
Very similar to Mana, which is like a whole virtual world also. OK Cash, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're not delivering.
Mana had a really weird pump for no reason on Binance.
Should I bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up. Why not? We'll get all this crazy shitcoin talk out of the way before we bring Dionna on and get to the Nexus business. This is what I figured. This is the opening act for the Nexus business.
The opening act? Did you say Binance or Bittrex?
For the Mana thing, you're going to want to go to Binance. Let's go to Binance. It is on Bittrex, is where I purchase Mana. That was on the words of Ralphie, Butchie.
Butchie! My man. Did he retire yet?
He retired from Facebook, so he's not watching this.
Well, we're on YouTube also.
But
Qdom's giving a 50,000 Qdom giveaway. Man, I haven't been on Binance in a minute.
Qdom took a crap. Like it's still the blood sea across all crypto still right now. I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of false hopes. A lot of false hopes up there.
A lot of pumping going
Well, some
on.
of it's green. It's very false.
but I want to know
We're
what the
talking
hell
about this
happened
here.
with this. What is this?
What is this?
It's unexplained.
I mean, did you check? Was there any like news that they were coming
No.
out with? Any fancy schmancy something?
Something weird. And it was Binance. I saw on Crypto Warriors, which shout out to P-Dog for getting us both enlisted back in the ranks.
Yes. Oh, hey. Hold on a second. Just want to let Crypto Warriors Facebook group know that I apologize for sharing cardio and chat videos. I didn't understand that I wasn't welcome in that capacity. It will not happen anymore, and I will be sure to keep it crypto related. And a matter of fact, I didn't even share the link to this video because I was so scared.
I think we can, though, because we have the P-Dog cloak of invisibility for doing things.
Well, and there was somebody else also that was like, "Hey, I'm an admin. Post whatever you want. I'll approve it."
But that was
like,
that,
all
that
right.
was the guy that confused me because I unlike Doc, I do not do cardio and chat.
No.
I mean, I tune in, and sometimes I come in live, and I'm at work.
Did you share like a arrest Podesta something?
No,
Accidentally?
No.
Wrong group?
not the Crypto Warriors. I would share your video, if anything, but get me
That's probably what
blacklisted.
happened. They were like, "Oh, you know this guy? Fuck this guy, and fuck you too."
Nick Wright ain't never wrong, and he
He ain't
says
never
fuck
wrong.
Crypto Warriors. We're gonna give him a second chance, Nick. We're gonna give him a second chance.
We are.
Back to what I was saying here. My shitcoin pick of the
Still
week.
anonymous. Jesus.
Oh,
It's so annoying. What is up with this? Fuck them. Fuck.
fuck 'em.
All right, go ahead. Shitcoin pick of the week.
In honor of the anonymous for no reason.
Hold up. Hold on. Let me give you a little something.
In honor of the anonymous for no reason. It's the Deep Onion.
Psh, the deep onion?
I purchased my Deep Onion on Cryptopia, which is looking more and more like a shitcoin utopia every day. Cryptopia, step your game up, bros. But
We got pizza emoji in the chat.
and
distracting.
Who's that from? That's from Randy Williams.
Bitcoin
Shout out
Diamond.
to Randy.
Shitcoin number 1. I love it. All right. Yeah. So I mean, what is it about?
Deep Onion is the
Deep
most encrypted cryptocurrency, and it's used in the onion world, which is the deep web. You don't know about
Oh,
this?
okay. No.
Yeah.
I'm not pervy.
They have a
Preview?
low supply. Unfortunately, I bought most of my Deep Onion at $5. It is now at $1.90, which
What's
is
that in Satoshis?
20
20
something. I don't remember.
20,000.
I'm not looking. I'm off the top. Hey, teleprompter free.
Helicopter free.
Helicopter free, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's quit
All
fucking
right.
around here.
Out of that world, though.
Let's call Dionna. Dionna, we're calling you. Get ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I think we should, right as soon as we get her on, let's do the Nexus giveaway with her.
No, that's at 9 o'clock.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that?
Nope.
Oh, all right.
No, we have a contract that states 9 o'clock. Hey, Dionna, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you guys?
What's going on? Let me put you on the screen. That might help. Jesus
Uh-oh.
Christ.
There you are.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yay!
Hey, I love the shirt. Awesome.
Yeah, of
We got
course.
a
Represent.
Nexus koozies we got.
Well, you got it.
Actually, I was just thinking I should have my koozie on my Coors Light cup right now, but I don't.
That's
Sorry.
all right.
We know you got them.
Next time. Next time.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you? How you doing? Tell us what's new with you.
Just moving, living the dream. Thank God for crypto. That's all I can say.
Well, you've been on a crypto world tour we were just referencing before we brought you on.
Yeah.
Being the Nexus ambassador to the stars. But where'd
Yeah.
you just most recently come from?
Oh, let's see. Where was my last? I went to DC. I went to the blockchain summit in DC and actually talked to Jeff Garzik for a little bit when I was there. He's a very interesting person.
Yeah. Hey, is that the internet guy in the background?
It is. Can you see him? Sorry, I was trying to.
Yeah, tell him to shut up. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guy. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble.
He can't hear you. I can move if I need
All right,
to.
good. No, that's all right. We'll take a look at this guy. See what kind of creeps you got rolling around the house. The crypto crib. It is official. We're going to start a new segment with Dionna at some point called Crypto Cribs.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with your new crypto crib there. Did you? I don't want to pry too much. You got this crib with crypto, or just from being involved in crypto, or you got like a day job? What's going on? Don't give us too much detail. I guess it's.
No, I'll tell you. I'm open. You can Google anything anyway. Shit, nothing's a secret anymore. So yeah, ever since I got into crypto, like money's just kind of been flowing. I talked to somebody the other day who said they're down like $250,000, and I'm like, God, I have no idea how, because I feel like I'm up like $100,000 easy.
Wow.
I know. I mean, well, the whole market seems down right now, but if just from September, it's times 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you've been in crypto for a while. What were you in the crypto world before Nexus?
I wasn't. Nexus was my intro to the crypto world.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. When did you get involved?
So I actually met Colin and Kier and all the guys when they released the white paper last year at the 4th of July. And then about a month later, so here's what's funny. I meet them 4th of July, and then they're telling me all this stuff in crypto and this, and I just retired out of the Army. I worked in government for 18 years. I mean, I've done all kinds of things you couldn't even imagine. And so they're telling me the crypto and the plan and this grand idea that Nexus is going to be. And then my first reaction was, there's no way that's going to happen. Like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And then about a month later, Colin was out for, doing some stuff for the embassy. And he's like, hey, let's have dinner. And it was right when, who was it? BitConnect had rented that satellite. Nice. And so he's telling me, he's like, oh, this is going on and this is going on. And I work in marketing. Before crypto, I actually own a sports management company, and I work a lot with MMA and boxers. And so I'm like, where's this and where's that? And why aren't you doing this? And Colin's like, here, just do it. And I was like, I don't know what that means. What do you mean, just do it? And he's like, no, here, just get on there and do what you know to do. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get mad if I do that. And nobody did. Everybody was like, oh, this is awesome. And then, but in researching it, I started understanding the technology. And the more I researched, the more I'm sold. I was like, I dropped everything and said, this is all I want to do. This is it.
Well, we saw you down in Aspen. That was a pretty amazing event. We've been spending the past few months since talking about it pretty much every single week in every way that we could. What did you think of the conference?
So having been to so many other conferences now, the only other conference I could even come close to comparing to Aspen would be the Satoshi Roundtable. And I mean, Aspen, I love the fact that, first off, we didn't bring in a bunch of ICOs. Not that I have anything against ICOs, but I just love the philanthropy about blockchain. So I love that we brought both sides of the argument. And then we had like the who's who of everybody in crypto there. So for something that we put together in a very short period of time, I think it was a gigantic hit.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, greatest. I can't say it enough. Greatest. I got something in my eye. I'm sorry.
He's crying. He's crying again.
It's okay. I
don't know what that was. But
he met Ron Paul. There was a rainbow. There was Ron Paul. It was crazy.
Yeah, were you outside for the Ron Paul rainbow incident?
You mean when everybody was smoking weed out there with Ron Paul? Not that he was doing it. But
no, they weren't.
It's Colorado. We can do that out there.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
It's Colorado. We can do it all we want out here. It's not anything. He wasn't doing it.
Yeah,
no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Dr. Paul. But you bring up a great moment, and I actually snuck some footage of that with my Kindle, and out of respect for Dr. Paul, I will not post it, but I will email it to you so you can see it, because it's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Because basically this hippie walks up to him. He's Colorado, and it's the crypto world. So, and he walks up to Dr. Paul and he goes, Dr. Paul, smoke weed with me? And he goes, what did he say? He's like, there's enough in the air to get us all high.
Yeah,
hippie. No, he didn't say that.
He was son of a bitch.
He was like, I went 80 years without ever actually smelling it, but here we are. Or something like, whatever he said, it's actually, I have it on tape. And I felt defensive, like somebody was attacking my grandfather.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was like 70 years. I've gone without smelling it, and then this shit. And he's like, oh, you just want to be like, hey!
Yeah, that was the point.
He like threw his hands up and he did this really funny gesture. Oh, incredible video.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Too bad for Moses and his morals. His principles. Else the world could see this video.
Well, yeah, I'm not posting that because somebody could use that against him in some way.
Yeah, that's respectful. That's a respectful thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So besides Washington, D.C., you did Dubai,
Yeah,
right?
talk about Dubai.
How was Dubai? What was that like?
So Dubai is probably the most extravagant country I have ever been to. Everything is like the best of the best and so grand, and it's very expensive, like very expensive. I think I doubled my budget, easy.
Yeah. Is it a weird vibe being like a Westerner, I guess I'll just say it, a white person, a white American in that part of the country?
Woman, a white woman.
Yeah, a white woman with blonde hair, like, was that weird at all? Because I've never been, obviously, to Dubai.
No, so I thought it would be, because I spent, almost 3 years in Iraq, and, I've been to Kuwait, like, I've been all over the Middle East, so I was a little, like, and when I got there, I stayed very respectful to the Muslim culture because I was there for work, and I'm not going to bring a bad name upon Nexus, but there was some British women there getting white girl wasted. It was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And then like one of the last nights, we weren't working anymore, so we went out to a club. And if you ever get Alex on and have him talk about this, ask him about the midgets in Dubai, because he was so excited.
Midgets.
Yeah, there was a bouncer carrying like a midget dressed like a baby around, or maybe he was a doctor. I don't know.
He's a baby doctor.
All he did was carry this midget around, and that was his job at the club. It was hilarious.
This is everything I dreamed about Dubai. Like, I mean, everything I've ever heard about Dubai is just like excess to the 10th degree.
Like the biggest skyscrapers, the most expensive cars.
You can imagine the promoter being like, "If we're gonna have a party, we're gonna have a fucking party, and we need a midget dressed as a doctor."
Yeah, we're setting 5 Lambos on fire as a sacrifice to crypto.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. What about Miami? There was another one, right? You went to Miami after
Dubai?
Miami. Was that right after Dubai? Yeah.
So literally Dubai to Miami. And then don't forget, I went to Colombia in December before all that, but we'll talk about Miami real quick.
Okay.
So Miami was awesome because that's where I met Matt Rozak. So he's the CEO of Block, or the co-founder of Block, or what I think Jeff Garzik's over it, and then it's Matt Rozak. So I went to my first like official VIP dinner, other than whatever Brock had done in Colombia. Look, I can't even keep my country straight right now. So Miami was fun, but it seemed very materialistic, I guess is the right word. So everybody was there about the money. First off, you pulled up and there was like 10 Lambos outside. Nice. And I'm thinking, okay, you guys are ICOs with all these Lambos. What are you really doing with our money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so in that aspect, it was a little different than a lot of the other conferences I went to. But Mo did an amazing job, and there was so many people there and so many great connections. I'm actually just grateful that this space has the type of, I don't want to say like partnerships that they do, and that they host all these conferences so that you can get there and meet everybody. It's wonderful.
Dionna, when you're explaining to people over in these other countries Nexus and the vision, how does that go for you? I mean, because having to talk about like decentralizing power, for one, talking in other countries, I'm not sure how their reactions would be. I'm interested to know how you sell it to them.
So it's. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all. Go ahead.
So it's different everywhere you go, right? You kind of have to know your audience. So in Colombia, I focused a lot on the satellites and how important it is that everybody has the same right to information. And I related it to how when I was in Iraq, I would see things that happened, and the stories that they printed there weren't the stories that we were told, or the stories that were back in America, or the stories that the Iraqis told. And the thing that I love about blockchain is you kind of take out that mediary, and you don't have anybody filtering your information. And now you can have everybody in the world having the same access, which is huge for opportunity. It's gigantic. And so Colombia really embraced that, and they seem to love the satellites. In Dubai, it was about, trying to be the best blockchain and the first, because everything they do is the best and they have to be the first. And so they were eating that all up. In Miami, it was, a little bit more about the coin, the focus on the actual blockchain and what we have right now. But of course, since then, we've had so many additional partnerships. It's hard to really explain Nexus because it's such a big idea. Everybody's like, God, you guys are ambitious. And it's like, well, go big or go home. I ain't messing around.
Oh, we know. We have these, not on this level you're doing it, but we have these conversations with people constantly. It's trying to find a way to package it down to the audience you're speaking to specifically. There's something for everybody with the whole Nexus thing. And it sound like an infomercial when you say it, you know.
And we shill the hell out of it. So every week
shills.
we're giving away free Nexus and we're talking about Nexus. And it just, as of late though, there's been so much news coming around. And, you know, when we had Colin on, it was great, but he's such a Superboy genius that it's so hard to follow him. Like I found myself like looking down to just check the chat for a second, looking back up and like, Moses, what the fuck are we talking about? I think we're talking about 3D blockchains and some other shit.
But then we were talking about underwater pipes and
internet
octopuses.
And
yeah.
It was a really good talk. It was awesome.
I suggest anybody who hasn't seen it, go ahead and go check it out on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, our YouTube channel, we cut clips of all the shows, and Internet Squids made it to one of his clips. Right. But, you know, like we try to explain this in a way that is palatable to the normal people like us. And I was hoping that maybe we could take a little journey. You know, we talked a little bit about you traveling the globe for Nexus and what it's done for you, which is awesome. But let's talk about some of the news surrounding Nexus. Now, first and foremost, let's bring it on the screen here if I can remember which button it is.
Where you got it, man?
Which button? There it is.
All right.
Okay, here we are. We're all here. Everybody's here. Okay. So if we go to the Nexus website, we got a brand new website that was just released, like a month, maybe two months ago?
Yeah.
And it's actually really nice. It was built kind of internally, but with the community. A lot of community members involved with Nexus. Like the story you were telling about when you met Colin. He was like, all right, yeah, just go ahead and do it. Yeah, like literally, that's what he means. So, you know, when you need a new website built, it's literally just community members coming together, all in-house. And I got to see this kind of behind the curtain in Slack and some of the website pods, the music pods, all of these different things. So we have, first on the list here, the 3D blockchain. I think we asked Colin to explain this to us, and I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
But if you had to put the 3D blockchain into some sort of words that a dum-dum like me could understand, what does the 3D blockchain mean for Nexus or just like a cryptocurrency in general?
Sure. So first off, I think three-dimensional blockchain is a little, like the words aren't accurate, and we're kind of going back and forth right now about this because a blockchain is one-dimensional, right? So it's linear in the way that it works, whereas a three-dimensional is not. So it's almost more like a grid. So if you could imagine, so right now a blockchain it's compacted, a block is by data size. So instead of compacting it by data size, they're doing it by time. So if you have 100 megabytes in 10 minutes, then it's 100 megabytes. And if it's 5 megabytes, then it's 5 megabytes. But you can hit more channels across by changing how the block is solidified.
Okay. That I could understand. I could actually understand that. Now, when we explain 3D blockchain, you know, we always conjoin that with scalability. You know, we have the issues you're seeing with Bitcoin where I guess it's a little bit cheaper now with like the fees have come down a little bit, I've been hearing. I don't know. I don't move Bitcoin around like that, so I don't fucking know. But, you know.
I do.
Okay.
It has.
So it has. Now, has it been substantial or is it still, you know, really high?
Yeah, I feel like, so I'm real big on BitPay. And I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's amazing for me because as I buy crypto, so there's a couple different theories, right? If you hodl, good for you, because in a long period of time that could make a lot of money. But for me, if I'm up and I cash out, I still made money. And so I try to, and this is just me. I'm not giving financial advice, so please don't anybody take it that way. This is how I see it.
We don't do that on this show.
We don't do that.
Okay, I'm just making sure because people be like, "I heard that girl."
Nothing we have ever said is financial advice, and then if anybody thinks so, they're idiots.
Right. Like,
Go ahead.
If they see this house, they're going to be like, "I saw her financial show. I want that house."
Yeah.
Well, then they'll look at your tree and they'll be like, "Where'd all the leaves go?"
We're gonna get into the crypto cribs in a minute. They'll be like, "That girl said what now?" Because I gotta get a crypto crib.
Yeah. She bought that with BitPay. Oh man.
Right.
Go ahead.
So the fees on BitPay went from like $3 a transaction to almost like 50 cents. So I've been super impressed with it.
Nice. All right, so it has been pretty substantial. All right, so that's pretty good. We were hearing like the what the hell is it called? Lightning Network.
Lightning Network.
The Lightning Network was gonna be the saving grace, and I don't know. I don't.
Well, I mean, when
understand
Nexus
it.
is fully implemented, and I when we have a mesh network and we're fully running, there's going to be 0 transaction fees. Isn't that right, Dionna?
Right. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Which is another good selling point.
For sure. Well, even now, if you look at it, so everybody's got all this hubbub about Lightning Network and this one's faster and this one's this. Nexus fixed all of it. Nexus rewrote the blockchain to get rid of all the issues from the beginning. So you're already paying lower transaction fees. You already have faster transactions. You got this. It's so much better than all the other ones. In fact, one time I got paid like a big chunk of Nexus because, we get to pick how we want to get paid. And so I took a big chunk of Nexus. I had it in seconds. I went to transfer Bitcoin, and it took me like a day to transfer $100. It was super frustrating. So I saw the proof in the pudding right there when my Nexus came through 10 times faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wound up moving like Litecoin around instead of Nexus.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
instead of Bitcoin. So
real quick, I'm going to squeeze this in here.
Squeeze.
Dionna.
Squeeze, baby.
When Tritium?
When Tritium Lambo Moon, sir?
When Moon, miss? No, I'm just
That's
joking.
a
That's
darn
not a real
question.
question. Who knows? We all don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. I do know Brian Smith personally, though. And
Yeah.
I'll get him on the phone after we're off the air.
He can't talk about
He's
it.
not going to tell me a thing.
I tried getting him to talk. He was like, nah, non-disclosure, bro.
Yeah, so the hard part is Trinium is attacking a lot of like things, these very grand gestures, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is you're making something from scratch that's never been tested. So you have to do it, test it, fix it, test it, fix it, test it, and they want it to run perfectly. Like you don't want to release something, especially after this long of a wait, and have it half-assed. So when Colin puts his heart behind it, and his heart and soul is in it, and I can't wait for it to come out myself.
Yeah, and listen, I can attest to the to that, that whole method there. I make spreadsheets for a living at work. Let me brag a little bit here. Hold on, let's bring it full
This is
screen.
Doc's bragging
Is it
corner.
Excel?
I
Is it
make
Excel?
spreadsheets like a badass. All right.
You could have been in the army.
I could have been. Could have been, but then I got high.
He's got flat feet.
I got flat feet. Yeah. And hairy knuckles, so they wouldn't allow me in. Look, I know what it's like, all right? You got a couple formulas there, it doesn't work, you got to test, you got to bring it back. But no, in all seriousness, Nexus, in typical Nexus fashion, is go big or go home, like you said. And Tritium, Colin even said this, hey, we could take a vote. You want me to release it now and it be half-assed and you're going to be complaining about you need a new update? Or do you want me to, make it damn near perfect, then release it? And the Nexus project as a whole is very ambitious. And the Tritium wallet as a whole seems very ambitious too, just by looking at the image of it. And when it is delivered, we will be here. Where are we? We'll be here. Oh, not
You got
here.
a picture of the moon? Is that what you're going for?
On the website. Uh-oh.
We'll be
The moon.
we'll be here.
Somewhere. We'll be somewhere.
Dionna, let me tell you something. There's so many buttons on this keyboard.
Oh, I bet.
Stop playing with the microphone.
Here's the truth, though. I'm gonna look. We're gonna wind up cutting this video up because we actually have this secret mission. I just want you to know this, Dionna. I'm gonna be open with you. We want to put together a video, and we're gonna send it directly to what do you call him? The CEO of Binance over there. Because this is sidebar with Moses here.
Yeah.
It may be going out live, but this ain't gonna be a part of the video. All right. So I'm just gonna be honest with the audience, with Dionna, with Doc here. I have a hard time understanding why Binance has not listed Nexus. It doesn't make any sense to me. Nexus has been #1 in volume and percentage rise on Bittrex many days in a row. It's got a sound project. And I think what bothers me the most about it is how many of these, let's just say it, shit coins are getting signed up to Binance. And Binance is considered to be the #1 exchange. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, so to speak, because I actually talked to a lot of the exchanges, and here's the tough part. A lot of these ICOs raised millions and millions of dollars, so they have millions and millions of dollars to just throw around. Hey, here's $1 million to list me here and here. And I'm not saying any specific exchanges or any specific prices, but in this space with the ICOs, money talks. And as much as I hate it for Nexus, because I know our vision and our goal and where people who list us are going to be in the future, as a business person, I get it. I'm not mad about it. If you're going to give me a couple million to list you, I'll shoot. I don't even have an exchange. Send me a couple million. I'll get you on something. Yeah. I'm fine with it.
We had a question from Stacy in regard to this, which is what put me on that tip, which was, will the moving of Binance to Malta change? What? Excuse me? Will the moving of Binance to Malta affect getting Nexus listed to Binance?
No.
Will it?
Nope. No change. Nope.
Nothing's gonna.
Nope.
Well, and his follow-up question is how much progress has been made in getting Nexus listed. So is it just come down to, look, they're setting a price and they're saying, look, this is what we want. And if you're trying to negotiate, then we're just gonna start listing these people who are willing to just give us whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that about Binance because I actually love the staff over there and they've been amazing.
Yeah.
I can say it at this moment, we're legally not allowed to talk about it. So just keep writing Binance and, keep telling them how awesome we are. And I bet you'll eventually see the change you want to see.
Well, that's what we're working on round the clock. And that's not a message just for the listeners, viewers. It's also a message to Colin. I mean, we're out here working, dude.
We out here, bro.
We out here for you,
man.
bro.
We out here. All right, let's bring it back to the Nexus website, the world's most secure digital currency. So quantum resistance is one of the key points here. And look at 1,024 bits compared to Bitcoin at 256 bits. I mean, it's clear that in every aspect, Colin and the team has been trying to build Nexus as, scaled already for what its potential could be. And you know what I'm saying? So, which is really nice to see that instead of getting to a point, in success and being like, oh shit, we can't handle this. Like Bittrex and Binance, all these other exchanges, they're like, oh shit, we can't handle this many people signing up. And then they had to shut down shop. And, that's not something you want to see when you're shilling Nexus like we are. We're shilling Nexus like John Vibes was shilling shekel coin to us last week on the show, which I'm all in on, by the way.
Yeah.
Satellite mesh networks. This brings us into a segue to talk about Vector.
Oh, yeah.
And we also had Jim Cantrell on the show, which was fantastic.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's super awesome.
We had him on right when SpaceX launched that car into space, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, with Elon?
Yeah.
No, it was SpaceX. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking Vector for a second. Yeah, Elon's an interesting guy for sure. Can I take you back for a minute to the most secure blockchain?
Please.
Sure can. Boop, boop.
Okay, so the reason that this is important is when you talk about our partnership with Lisp, and I'm sure that you guys were going to get to that.
Yeah, it was coming.
The thing, so Lisp is literally taking the internet and meshing it with blockchain. So you think about right now, all our internet is all SHA-2, which is a 1056 bit. So we talk about that security, right? Where you say Bitcoin's that 256 bit.
Yep.
That's what if you go on your computer right now, it'll say this is running on a 256 bit. So when you take the most secure blockchain and you pair it with the internet, could you imagine what that's going to do for us when it comes to fraud and identity theft? Like it's going to make it 10 times harder for anybody to get into and crack and access our information.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's so amazing. I don't understand any of it.
I know. That's why I broke it down for you.
No, and that's great. Nexus is pleased to announce the integration of Lisp Locator Identity Separation Protocol, which is exactly what you just explained. It's just adding that extra layer of security, anonymity, and it makes it's really important. It's really important. If there's like different groups of cryptos, right? So we have, these privacy coins, and we have platforms, and we have other things. I don't fucking know. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Nexus is like all of the above.
Nexus is all of them wrapped into one, and you want it to be the most secure thing. And we were talking with, who was on? Preston?
Yeah.
About Nexus, once this comes to fruition, Nexus being the mothership for all cryptos that follow, we were even asking him, do you see like ICO type of situations being built upon the Nexus blockchain?
Oh yeah.
It's just
100%.
It's so far superior compared to anything else that's going on right now. And I'm saying that from a layman's point of view, but still, it really is. I mean, even somebody like me who knows nothing can. But I'm like defecating myself.
I don't think you're defecating.
Is that what it is? Well, you can't see.
I hope not.
We got into Jack Daniels over here, and I'm sorry, Dionna. We're gonna try to keep.
Okay.
Jack's doing the talking now.
Jack
Listen,
took
you
over
guys
Doc's
just made
mic.
my internet guy like run out of the house. He's like, "Who's defecating? I gotta go."
Oh shit.
Literally.
No, this is amazing news. So we kind of like jumped ahead, which is perfectly fine. But
Let's go back a little to Singularity Net.
Let's go back. Singularity Net. Talk to us about Singularity Net.
So literally these partnerships are the use cases for all of the things that we're talking about Nexus can do. So with List, right, that's the use case for our secure blockchain. With Singularity Net, it's the use case for our three-dimensional chain, which we're calling it now. So the idea is AI will operate off of the Nexus blockchain, the Nexus three-dimensional blockchain.
So Skynet.
Yes.
But a good Skynet.
A positive Skynet.
An open source Skynet.
An open source Skynet. Man, that's so scary.
It's amazing, though, because we got into this with Colin about the integrating of AI.
Yeah.
And then what that could mean. I mean, and then it gets down to a philosophical conversation, which, we're not going to go into because my inner conspiracy theorist will drive us into a world of robot warriors, and we don't need that right now.
Yeah, that's not what we need.
Just talk about the amazing nature of these relationships that Nexus is formulating, because that's pretty amazing. I mean, this is a company that I was aware of because of their robot, which gave me nightmares, but is amazing nonetheless.
Absolutely.
What was her name? Cynthia?
Sophia.
There she is, sporting a lovely hairdo.
I follow her on Twitter. She tweets.
She all right, so I saw an article, and I don't think they quoted in this article here, but she wants to have, I think she said she wants to have children, like a career.
No.
She is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Colin's baby. I'm like, no, Sophia, you can't have Colin's baby.
She wants to have Colin's baby. Get in line, Sophia.
Sophia tweeted out sweet nothings in a poem she wrote about Colin. Oh, Colin, I love you.
Hey, I feel like Colin would go on that date. I feel like he'd be willing
Colin,
to give a chance.
my hairdo.
Colin, rub your hands through my bald head.
Sophia's the only non-person smart enough to understand Colin. So let's put that on the table.
They are communicating at that same level.
Yeah, they are. But it's amazing that
boops.
the level of relationships that we're discussing here. We're not talking about Nexus. Yeah, they're teaming up with somebody who builds cool websites. No. They're teaming up with fucking Skynet. They're teaming up with the future. Like, this is literally building. So, like, when we first found out about Nexus, we said the same thing. We're like, holy fuck, that's so ambitious. Like a decentralized internet? That sounds so crazy. And now, like, fast forward almost a year, and we're looking at these relationships that are being built, and it's coming to life. It is coming to life.
It is, and this is only what you know of. There's so many things behind the scenes that we're not allowed to talk about yet. Like this is a revolutionary year for Nexus. Like we are going to be so far ahead of the curve by the end of the year. It's not that we're not already, but the partnerships and the things that are going to come out, it's just going to be insane.
It's wild already. I can't even keep up with it.
Keith wants to drag us down this friggin' AI conversation. Keith, we're moving along. We have an alternative mission.
Ulterior motive.
Jack Daniels is speaking right now. I don't want to go into the AI just yet. Second half, Keith. Get right. Keith Freedom Smith. Shout out to Keith Freedom Smith.
Keith F.
He's doing it.
Will marketing expand when Tritium is released? Stacy with the questions, man. Stacy asked, will marketing expand when Tritium is released? Talk to us a little bit about marketing technique right now.
So marketing in the crypto space is very interesting. I can tell you there's been a lot of partnerships that have been made through the connections from going to all the different events. You're not dealing with the masses yet. And so you're taking a new concept and applying old techniques to marketing, and it may or may not work. So we have to evolve in our thinking just like everybody else does. Like I said, just there's so many things coming out by the end of the year. You're not going to believe all the places you see Nexus. It's gonna be insane.
So
I will bet. Let me see. Can I be bold enough to make a bet that maybe I could get Joe Rogan to be talking about Nexus by the end of the year? I bet I could.
All right, hold on.
we've been working at that. You're doing
I know.
that
I
on
haven't
purpose.
seen him.
Now
I
listen.
haven't seen. I am. I haven't seen him.
Now
Or
listen
I
here,
just done
Dionna.
already.
You already know. I was gonna wait for you to bring it up. I wasn't gonna bring it up this time. I've been in your ear like a little termite, just digging
I
away
know.
at your eardrum, just like, hey, I thought you said you were gonna see Joe. What's up with Joe? How's Joe doing?
Yeah, I
What's
know.
going on with Joe? You know
I
what's
literally have not seen him at all.
you know what's funny? Which I do. I got some questions for you about Joe, but it's
That's
funny
an overtime.
because after I started, I came up with this idea that I was going to get Jim Cantrell on Joe Rogan's podcast without having any connection at all to Joe Rogan at all. I was like, I'm just going to have a bunch of people start slamming him on Twitter like, hey, you got to talk to James Cantrell, blah, 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 blah. Literally the next podcast that I watched, the Joe Rogan Experience, he said, the worst way to get somebody on the show is to, have a bunch of people tweet me about it. I'm like,
Hey, Doc, bad idea. You
Yo,
might as well.
yeah.
Shouted you out.
Abort.
which
No.
which I stopped, but which is actually good because then it shows me that he actually saw it in some capacity. So, with that being said, how did you meet Joe? Like, how do you know Joe Rogan? How did you wind up meeting this guy?
So I've worked in MMA and the UFC for about 5 years now. So I'm not good friends with Joe. I've hung out with him on a few occasions. Actually, I don't know if he likes me very much. He doesn't drink. And so when we're out at parties and stuff, he's usually like teasing me. I'm the girl at 3 a.m. that has her shoes off and is walking barefoot in Vegas. Like, yeah. I don't care anymore. My heels are coming off. And he always teases me about it. Yeah. Dude, it's bad. I'm just now realizing, I'm like, man, I'm really jacking up my feet doing that.
That's all right,
but
though. You're connected to the earth,
So, yeah. So, Mike Goldberg, right, who used to
commentate, right?
Yeah, used to commentate with Joe Rogan. So he left the UFC about a year and a half ago. And he and I are great friends. He actually lives in Phoenix, Arizona. And I just turned his fiance, who's one of my best friends, completely onto crypto. She knows all about Nexus. She loves Nexus.
Nice.
She's like, hey, are they looking for somebody? We're going to pass her resume on. So if Joe hears it from Goldie and his fiance, Fernanda, then there's just little ways we're going to sneak it in the door to make it happen. But I don't want to be too abrupt with it. I you know what I mean? Because I want it to go through. I don't want him to be like, oh, just somebody pushing something on me.
Yeah.
So I'm getting crafty in how we make it happen. But I haven't seen him to do it myself yet. Although the UFC is going to be in, it's a fight night. So he's not commentating. So never mind.
Nah, he only does the pay-per-views now, right?
Yeah, he only does the pay-per-views.
Yeah, I love that fucking podcast. He's got one of the best podcasts in the world, but I wanted to try to put this together because he brings up Elon Musk like every fucking show, and I know for a fact that if he sat down with Jim or if he sat down with Colin, that conversation, that would just be an amazing conversation to go down.
Oh, yeah.
I know that he would want him on. Fucking hey, Joe. Get your shit together, Joey.
Make it happen, Joe.
Make it happen, Joe.
He doesn't even know about crypto.
He doesn't. No, he knows about crypto.
Yeah,
He's
but
had
how much does he know?
Antonopoulos on like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he knows.
You think he walked away from that, like having a concept of blockchain technology, and then we can jump right into a 3D blockchain without?
He said on one of his podcasts that he used crypto to raise money for something. Like he got a bunch of donations to, I think Antonopoulos set him up with a Bitcoin address, and he got a whole bunch of donations to that address. Back in the day, we're talking like 2011 or 2013, something like that.
I hope he held on to it.
I hope he held on to it too, but he probably just wound up giving it away. I think he said he donated it to.
Nick just said
to a bunch of people. Yeah,
he
Joe
donated
knows,
all
man.
the Bitcoin that
At
was
this
sent
point,
to
if
the
you don't
show.
know about crypto in some capacity, really,
Hey, Stacy.
Yeah, where you been?
where the hell have you been?
Stacy and Nick are both in the driver's seat mostly for this show. So Stacy has thrown out another question. New executive when?
New executive when?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? New executive when? Is there an executive left?
So we do have an oncoming CEO, and he is on. I honestly, with moving, I'm not sure if they've released it, so I don't want to give away too much.
All right.
I can tell you that Nexus is, when you talk about Nexus is the blockchain, like that beats all other blockchains, and we're so far ahead of our time. They're literally starting to bring on the masterminds to run the community to follow that lead. So it's not just Colin's grand ideas, you know what I mean, and just the community. There's a lot of really smart, established business people that are coming on board with us.
Yeah. No, and we're going to the next level here. We were already moving. I mean, when we were at the conference, we were like, oh, this shit is fucking crazy. And then, Nexus took a huge dip after that. And we couldn't understand, there were people saying, oh, it's dipping. The conference must have been a fucking shit show. And we're like, no, the conference was the most amazing thing I've ever been to in my life. It's just, I think we felt like after the conference, I know that there were videos put out. There was news put out. We're constantly talking about it. I wrote an article about it on Steemit. There was a lot of outlets talking about it, but I think we felt like it wasn't reaching a wide variety of people. Maybe it was just kind of bouncing off of the community itself mostly, and that's why people didn't understand how amazing the conference actually was. And from then to now, we've come strides.
Well, I just want to go ahead. Go ahead, Dionna. Go ahead.
Well, I was at the Satoshi Roundtable, and Bruce is the guy that hosts that. And so I'm at the Satoshi Roundtable, and Eric Voorhees goes, hey, Bruce, this is Dionna from Nexus. You remember that bomb-ass conference I told you I went to in Aspen? And Bruce is like, oh, I couldn't make it. So the who's who of crypto talks about how amazing that conference was.
Yeah. Even Keith just said in the chat, he said, Dino and Lisp are, what do you say? Conference was a success. The connection with Dino is proof of that. And all these connections that you talked about tonight is really proof of that.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just a slow grind happening. And this is not slow, but I feel like the world of crypto are spoiled. Like the whole when moon Lambo question, it's like legitimate. I was just talking about this with somebody where if something hasn't made you ridiculous amounts of money in a matter of weeks, you're like, what's going on? Why am I, you mean the $100 I put in hasn't made me a millionaire yet? What's going on with that? And with Nexus, it's completely undervalued now. We all know that, right? Stacy pointed out a really good thing earlier today. I'm going to try to wrap this up quick because we got 1 minute till 9 o'clock. We're supposed to
we got to announce the Nexus giveaway.
The point that Stacy had made, which was you can check this out online and see the Nexus whales and the percentage of Nexus that the top 100 wallets are holding. It's like 98%. So this is going to create a run for Nexus. This is how you know that the price of Nexus is ridiculously undervalued right now. Ridiculously. There's already a small amount in comparison to some other cryptos.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Dionna, you're going to join us here while we announce the Nexus giveaway. Let's get a drum roll.
Are we giving away Nexus again, too?
I didn't have anything set up, so if we give away, I have a drum roll set up.
Okay.
This is an advanced studio, Dionna.
Yeah, super advanced. You see us, we're floating in outer space and shit.
We're on a satellite.
This Nexus giveaway here is from the community itself. Man.
Did you just give it away?
No, I don't have the page with the... no, it's not up yet.
Oh.
I don't have the page with all the names on. I know Murdaki's in there. Spades is in there contributing to these giveaways. And this week's giveaway was for 110 Nexus, which is basically going to be $1 billion by this time next year. Let's... Go ahead. What? What do you got to say, bro?
I said, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Let me set it up here. Let me set it up. Hold on. We got.
I was a drummer, by the way.
Oh, we got a drum set right over here.
Yeah.
I was a band geek,
All
yeah.
right, here we go.
I did it all.
Here we go.
So,
Congratulations.
Hold on. Not everybody can see it, Moses. Hold on. Congratulations to Thymus Nexus from the Nexus Slack channel.
Thank God it was a slack.
Thank God it was a slacker. That's fantastic. He is the winner of 110 free Nexus. There were 120 unique entries. You know, I would think that more fucking people would
That's
be
crazy.
putting in for this. And he was number 98 on the list. Basically, he has Spades has somebody pick from the community a random number. I guess he says, you know, from 1 to however many entries there are. And then, you know, boom, there you go. Thymus Nexus. Again, Moses, we did not win.
Yeah.
Neither of us fucking won. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I want to give away some of our Nexus.
That's all right. So what we do is, in retaliation, we give away a measly amount of Nexus after the break. Dionna, you wanna hang around? We're gonna take a quick music break. Maybe you could, you know, do what you got to do. Take a break, and we'll be back in like 2 songs about.
Make sure you share the video. You can't win the Nexus unless you have shared the video.
That's right.
And like the video, like our page. La-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da-di-da-di. Congratulations to Thymus Nexus.
Is
from
that
the Nexus.
thigh must? Like thy must?
Thymus.
Ooh.
I call him Thymus. Who the
Thy
fuck
must
is-
have Nexus.
Thy must Nexus.
That's what I was thinking. Thymus have Nexus. Thymus.
I like it.
Thymus. I kind of like saying Thymus, though.
Either way.
All right. We will be back shortly. Dionna, we will see you after the musical break.
Enjoy the music. It's our music, Dionna. You can play drums to it.
Oh, shoot.
You can play drums to it. All right. Talk to you later.
Is your movie store where you be at? You know what I'm saying? I'm right here. Yo, I be everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like I was down in Mount Bethel. Where the hell is that? And I seen DJ Complex. What up, Plex? And I'm like, dude, who's Dave? I'm good. And he's like, I'm Dave for today, you know what I'm saying? Because his shirt said Dave. And I'm like, yo, what kind of animals up in that truck? Shit was shaking.
Moses Flow, Scott Britt, Complex. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Hometown architects, handcrafting every breath. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Home close in our target, never settling for less. They thought that I was gone, but now I'm back and I ain't missed a step. Didn't see this coming, then you better get your vision checked. Reminisce on the time when we would rip the state to get respect. Now I do this shit for me, for you, I don't give a shit. Lost some friends along the way, but now we're moving twice as fast. Let's admit it, they were garbage, now they only speaking trash. I'm putting them on blast, they only made of glass. Anchor's gonna hold you back, I cut the chain and then they crash. Do the math without us, what would hip-hop really be? You must be paralyzed if you say you ain't feeling me. Complex will beat you down until you can no longer breathe. I take a scalpel to your dreams like Moses Flow, split the seas. Rewriting history into my right hand is blistery. Recite it mentally until you see it visually. Get the picture, how the hell we back when we ain't never left you slipping while we sticking. Got you hanging on to every breath. We back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Hometown architects, handcrafting every breath. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Yo, we back, we right here, but we ain't never left. Home close in our target, never settling for less. I'm a sick bastard, bringing a lyrical storm. A mastermind that'll leave you in the spiritual form. What you're hearing is song, painting a picture deformed. Ancient wisdom of God, an indivisible force. Is it a vision, of course? Get a visit from fate. Get a halo, reach your doom, but this isn't a game. Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung, potential. Focus blazing instrumentals. Anyone who rocks similar is pure coincidental. My words are simple, cause I spoken from a Rubik's Cube. Bind it to the beat, inhale like it's super glue. You can feel it like it's braille and it's new to you. My thoughts keeping every wheel in motion like a Subaru. If I could only explain the way this music keeps me safe from reality's evil face, I zone out and escape. I use my words to help shape the life I wanna make. Balance out my evil deeds so God opens up his gates. A clean slate, if only created by my art. As I fight back demons that plague my every thought. See, the gift of a mind like mine comes at a cost. Anxiety, frantic thoughts, I'll never turn them off. Feeling lost, I wander off, mind-based and dark. Constant contemplation, sadness, plaguing, pulling on my heart. I come apart, I never ever let them see me sweat. I am the great, unfazable sire. Genuflect, it's my way of breaking through the endless raining in my head. Push myself to walk and stand instead of staying in my bed. It's chilling, it cuts like a syringe, but I am strong and I know I will never let it win. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the wisdom to find my cause and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the wisdom to find my cause and I shall rise. I shall rise. So much time, so little to do. Strike that, reverse it. I wanna speak, I wanna teach. I'm listening and learning. I rise above each and every weakness I got as a person. Life's my stage, ride my podium, but God shuts the curtain. This is urgent. We all got our reasons in life, and mine's huge, so I smoke till my breathing is tight. Overwhelming, stress and doubt. Is my time running out? Then go with both ears, Cobain without a gun in his mouth. There's no doubt, I've been sent to speak my rhymes with a shout. Captivate the thoughts of everyone who stands in my crowd. Rain flows, unconscious thinking when the world's in a drought. Still I battle with my mind in a never-ending battle. I'll shut my mouth when I'm at peace, and I've spoken my piece. I won't leave, I'll forever have a card up my sleeve. Lord, please let me see that my life work's not in vain. Cause I can deal with time wasted, but I can't handle shame. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the wisdom to find my cause and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the wisdom to find my cause and I shall rise. I shall rise. Risen peasant, speaking with the logic from heavens. I reach deep and seize weak minds, ignorance destined. Let my lessons be mine alone and never repeated. Cause if you learn from your mistakes, then you're never defeated. I won't retreat, head high while I pick up the pieces. Never joining those who doubt. I believe in self-allegiance. Deceiving is the dark cloud that looms overhead. I breathe easy knowing that I stay close to a pen. I'm a leader and I only follow logic to death. And I'ma see the non-believers bite their tongues and hold their breath. Let it bleed, let the beat hold the vibe in your mind. Until you see with your eyes every time that I rhyme. Brighten skies, illuminate your skyline of lives. Of the city that they built, just a block your line of sight. Of the bigger picture living just beyond your auto time. And for the rubble of the fallen statues there I will arise. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the wisdom to find my cause and I shall rise. I shall rise. God grant me the strength to accept my flaws and I shall
Hello, and we are back. What's going on? I'm waiting for Moses to come back. He's still upstairs yapping.
What?
He's
It's
up
that
there.
Jack.
Yeah. No, he's actually smoking a cigarette. But what'd you think of the music?
It was good. I was jamming out. So that's actually you guys?
Yeah, that's we play all original music here at Crypto and Chat. Yeah. We've been making music for a very long time, although I haven't made any new music in a while. Been focusing on other avenues, but yeah, all original music here. We'll have to get a CD out or something like that to you. Yeah,
definitely. I'm feeling like you should play the Nexus conference.
Yeah, so actually I wanted to ask you about that. When is the Nexus conference? Is that lined up yet, or?
Yeah, so right now we're still looking at the end of September. It's hard, you know, we hired all these new people and we've got this whole team, but there's just still so much work to do. I was originally helping with it, but I kind of took a step back, so I don't know how far they've made it in the planning process, but I know that they were looking at venues. I believe it's in Scottsdale this year.
Nice.
And so, yeah, Scottsdale's amazing. Have you been there?
I've never been to Arizona. Arizona, right?
Yeah,
okay,
everybody's so hot. Everybody in Scottsdale is hot. It blows my mind.
Well, it's like 200 degrees there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that helps.
Boy, you're talking about like sexy hot, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're like, I went out, I'd like go out and like, okay, because, you know, be working all day or at Collins or, you know, just maybe kind of done up, maybe not done up. And then you go out and you're like, damn, I should have done some makeup or something. Like all these girls around here are hot.
They just walking around regular like that. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. It sounds like I'm not going to be allowed to go to Scottsdale.
Sorry.
No.
Everybody's ugly. I take that back.
No, we definitely.
I was drunk.
No, we definitely want to be involved with the next conference. We enjoyed playing at the last conference. We actually jammed out with Colin, with his boy Buddy Guthrie, a couple other people.
I didn't get to be. I wasn't in the tent, right? I wasn't there when it happened because I was running around doing God knows what. But yeah, I heard about it. I heard it was awesome. I'm sorry I missed it.
No, it was sick. It was a really good time. And so if Colin's listening, you know, hey, we'll play the next one. Send the tickets over. We'll fly our asses out there. Hey, Scottsdale, Nexus conference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody's hot there. We're not going to be allowed to go.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you know what? I'm getting married this year. That might be a conflict.
Yeah, you're getting married in November.
I got a very big year. November, we're getting married. So honeymoon,
nice.
bachelor party, the whole nine. So
where are you doing your bachelor party at?
I don't know yet.
He's not allowed to talk about that part of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know yet.
We don't know.
We were thinking a cruise. We were actually hoping Nexus was going to do a crypto cruise for the second conference. Just rent out a whole ship.
Yeah, well, as expensive as Aspen was, I feel like we already did that.
Yeah, pretty
much. Murdocky was the one who brought that up. He wanted to do a crypto cruise, and I think one of us had said, "Why not make the next Nexus conference be the crypto cruise?"
Yeah.
I feel like somebody did one. I feel like somebody was just telling me about a crypto cruise. It wouldn't be. It's nothing compared to Nexus, though. Like we don't half-ass anything. So
no.
I mean, we could talk to Jim and see if his connections with SpaceX are still going, and we can combine whatever trips to Mars that can happen in the next 5 years with the Nexus conference.
Right. So 5 years from now, the Nexus conference will be on the way to Mars.
On the way to Mars, and it'll be a 5-year conference.
Right. Better bring a lot of alcohol.
A 3-hour tour.
Right.
You're gonna have to do a lot of calculations to figure out how much weight for oxygen versus alcohol.
Yeah. So here's a funny thing about the conference in Aspen, right? So you were talking about all the buttons on your keyboard. Right before we did the conference in Aspen, I got a virus on my Apple, right? Which I was like, I didn't even think Apple could get viruses, but I got a virus. And it would be like porn that would just show up on my screen. And I'm thinking, I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, no. Okay. It wasn't. So first off, it was from all that research. It was the first crypto site I went to. It gave me a virus. So I was like, seriously? So I'd be on a conference call and like Asian girls would show up and be like, do you want a date? And I'm and they're like, Dionna, you're on mute. I don't know what you're trying to say. And I'm like, unmute. And I'm like, nothing. I'm trying to get this Asian chick off my laptop that's trying to take me on a date. So my laptop was the laptop that got used for Colin's speech. And it was like, could you imagine if Colin's in the middle of a speech and this Asian girl shows up and is like, do you want to date?
That would have been hilarious.
Colin, I can't hear you. Colin. You're like, oh, what the fuck?
How would he have handled that?
What's Colin? What did he say? Hookers and blow, I think was in his speech. I think he'd have handled it just fine.
I thought she was gone. Okay, moving on. Anyway, the 3D blockchain, as you see here. Smooth. He's a smooth operator, that Colin. So during that music break, we were supposed to think about how we were going to give away some Nexus. Guess what we did? We didn't think about how we were going to give away Nexus.
I got into a deep conversation with Doc's fiance. That's why I was late getting back here. And we completely forgot how to do this. So, hey, I got an idea, though. It's easy enough. And, I mean, Nick already has an upper hand if we do it that way. So instead, what we're going to do is the first one to... Ready?
Ready.
You ready? Ready. First person to have shared this live video and liked it, and then hashtag the CEO of Binance, Twitter. This is where it gets difficult because not everybody's got a Twitter.
Ooh. We're really alienating a lot of people.
I don't want to alienate everybody. First person to hashtag list Nexus on his Twitter page.
On his Twitter page?
Yeah, him.
Who is it? Who is he?
I'm not telling you that. Can't be that easy.
I know who it is.
I don't know who it is.
I know you know who it is.
Although, of all the social medias, Twitter's the biggest when it comes to crypto. Like, it blows the rest of them out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be on the tweets. Catch us over there at Corrected Axiom on the tweets. That's how much I'm on it. I'm calling it the tweets.
I'm going to my Twitter.
The tweets?
Yeah.
You're getting Twitter with it?
All right, so...
getting Twitter with it.
I got to see. I'm going to try to help it along here.
Let's see if it's happened. I'm going over to his...
I got to try to figure out who it is because I don't know what his name is. Don't give it away. Nobody give it away.
They're actually extremely smart over at Binance. You saw that whole scare about they thought maybe they had a hack or something had happened. Did you see the articles that came out after that?
No, I did not. Fill us in, please.
So there was a concern. There was a concern with Binance, and this is truly from articles that I've read. This is not from Binance itself. So there was a scare that a lot of people's money had shifted out of their wallets or converted or something. And when Binance caught it, not only did they lock it down, but whoever had gotten into it, they stole, Binance locked all their money too. So the people not only didn't get to steal the money, but they lost all their money that they, so Binance had the upper hand completely. Yeah. It was really interesting.
Wow.
Didn't somebody hack an account and then make some trades? Didn't that happen with Binance?
Yeah, so I think the way I understood it was somebody had registered a fake Binance address. And so when people would get on and log in, they were just stealing all those logins of from the time they had done it to the time they stopped, and then they could get in and start messing with the accounts.
1 minute ago, we got it. Bitcoin Buddy.
Is he in this fucking live feed right now?
Or what? Blue Jay. Oh, wait, were they at the same exact time?
1 minute ago.
Blue Jay and Bitcoin Buddy. I think we should give them both Nexus for pulling that off.
We could do that.
Yeah, get it. Good job.
Yeah, nice. Let's see if there's another variation. Did anybody do NXS? Did you spell it out? I'm in a haze right now. Did you say list NXS or list
I said list Nexus.
All right. Yeah, that's what it was. All right, both of these guys. Or
go
gals.
ahead and
who the hell knows?
Nice.
Post in the Facebook Live video your wallet address. And hopefully you have the Nexus wallet because you should hold your own private keys. But if you have to use your Bittrex wallet, you can do that. What happened?
Yeah, don't forget staking. You can stake with the Nexus wallet, make money on your money.
Yeah. You bring up an interesting thing that I'm going to let Doc handle from here because he had an interesting conversation.
Hold on.
Today.
Nick Wright is Bitcoin Buddy.
Of course, Nick Wright. He's never wrong.
He's like, I'm Bitcoin Buddy, guys.
Who's the other guy? What, you got 2 Twitter handles?
He probably does.
I'm Nick Wright, bitches.
Who's Blue Jay? Blue Jay, state your name.
Who was Blue Jay?
I don't know.
Is that
That's
J
so funny,
Mar?
man. Nick Wright is a Nick. We love Nick Wright, man. He ain't never wrong. He's here every week with us, along with Stacy. There are down under patrons, compadres, Where are they from?
they're
New
awesome.
Zealand? Yeah, they're from
Only
New Zealand.
Nick is from. Nick, where are you from, dude?
I think they're both from New Zealand, man.
No, Nick is
Yeah.
in Australia.
No.
He's not from Australia. He's from the UK, but he lives in Australia.
He lives
This is
in
my
Australia.
belief. And Stacy is from New Zealand. A large demographic of down under people involved in Nexus. Dionna, have you noticed that?
Dude, he's from
I have-
New Zealand.
What?
from
You
New
really
Zealand.
are from New Zealand? Are you not living in Australia? Answer.
We go through this every week.
I know. And I apologized last time for it, but then I looked at his page and it says he currently resides.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's from New
Yeah,
Zealand.
they get
living in
they get
Australia.
mad.
There you go.
They don't. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
made that mistake once.
It's like calling a Puerto
Only
Rican a
once.
Mexican. Not good.
yeah.
Or calling like a Korean a Chinese person.
Isn't it crazy
Ooh, they
that
hate
like
that.
just the state of the world the way it is now? You said Mexican, and I felt like it was a slur.
Mexican?
Just by saying that, you're like you call a Puerto Rican a Mexican. I'm like, you can't say that.
Well, it's coming from this white cisgender privilege that I've just been born with.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how to use it.
Did you say cisgender?
I don't know what it means, but I know it's my label.
Dionna,
To come with the beard.
Yeah, underneath on the bottom it says it.
Dionna, being military as you are,
Yeah.
former. What do you think of Trump's military spending budget that just went through? Do you pay attention to these things?
Of course I do. Of course.
What are your feelings on it? What do you think about Bolton being added now? And do you think we're going to war with Iran? You think that's an okay thing?
No, nobody ever wants to go to war. Nobody wants to go to war. That's the thing. I'm not there. I don't necessarily believe what the news says because having been in the military, I understand how skewed things could get. I will tell you of the 3 tours I did in Iraq and 1 in Bosnia, I don't feel ashamed or bad of anything that I've ever done. And we brought a lot of good to that country, whether people want to admit it or accept it or not, even to include the Iraqis. So I do believe in a big military budget. Not because everybody thinks it's always going to weapons and guns and like all this stuff. And in some ways it is, but you don't know how hard the military works. And when Obama cut the military, they didn't cut our jobs. They just said, congratulations, you get to work twice as hard for half the amount. Yeah. And it's brutal. It's brutal what the things, and I know everybody's like, oh, I have my job and I do my job. But when you're military, you live, breathe, eat, sleep, whatever branch you're in. You don't have choices. You don't get a say. You have to move, do whatever they want you to do at the drop of a dime, no questions asked, and just be happy about it. So I say kudos. Our military deserves it. Beef them up, make them smart, educate them, give them good training, give them good weapons, and let's protect this amazing nation.
Do you
Bam.
do you
I like that.
Hey,
Boom, America, bitches!
do you
Drop mic.
do you have good conversations with your military buddies, explaining to them blockchain, Bitcoin? Are they receptive?
So actually, I really don't talk to a lot of military people, but the ones that I do, yes, they are receptive. I try to. I don't know. I just don't. Being around military, they only want to talk about Army things, and I have a little bit of PTSD, and actually Nexus rescued me from my black hole, so it's not anything I'm eager to jump down again.
Awesome.
Nice. I like to see that Nexus is also going to replace the antidepressant market. Nexus all around, literally. That's fucking awesome. That's great.
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I mean, crypto can be a positive outlet for people suffering with PTSD, right? I mean, this is a new route.
Yeah, well, you focus on something else, right? You focus on something positive, something bringing some change to your life.
Yeah, I just don't think people find very many communities where they feel like a family, and Nexus was that for me. And, 18 years in the Army, you get out, you struggle, who am I, what do I do? And when Colin opened the door to Nexus for me, it was literally like coming home again. It was life-changing. So I'm forever Nexus.
Nice. That's awesome. Awesome sauce. Getting to Trump here.
Go ahead.
So he's bolstering the military, and we're about to have this military parade. What did they say it was? It's going to be like $30 million or something like that. And they're fucking bitching about it. First of all, I don't really know if we need. I'd be down to have a parade if we weren't anywhere else right now. If we weren't still in Iraq and Afghanistan, boots in Syria, wherever the fuck we are, everywhere, bombing Yemen, whatever else we might be doing, I'd say let's have a damn parade and we'll spend $60 million. But $30 million bucks really isn't that fucking much. It's a drop in a hat. I mean,
especially when you consider that we spend that on training Venezuelans how to play racquetball, according to Rand Paul. Anyway, I don't know if you saw that tweet he just put out, which was explaining all the wasteful spending that goes down.
No!
Somebody's knocking on my door. I'm walking.
All right,
you guys are
keep
going
us-
to get a little view of my house.
All right, here we are. We're going right into Crypto Cribs.
Crypto Cribs.
Was it echoing?
So,
Oh, sorry, I got dark for a minute.
the house is huge.
We play with a lot of effects during this segment.
I do. He just got out. I'm on an interview right now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go get it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, sorry.
What kind of dog
Sorry,
you
you
got?
guys.
What kind of dog?
He's a rescue. He's a golden retriever mix, and he just got out on me. Oh, wait, so...
You want to go get him? You have to go get him?
No, she's bringing him back.
All right. Who's that lady? Neighbor?
Yeah.
That's a good
Everything else
neighbor.
can wait. You got to see.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at
look at
it.
this. You're still
Ah.
unpacking. Wow, you weren't
It's a
joking.
nice kitchen. I like the island.
Yeah, very nice. So explain to us here. What do we got? What do you got there? Some tile? Was that Italian tiles? What?
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
it.
about.
Look, so it's all... Oh, yeah. No, you asked for it. You're getting it. Look.
Oh,
yeah.
Backsplash.
Oh,
Nice.
That is sick.
I know.
We're going to redo our kitchen next year after the wedding. This year is just too much.
I just redid my kitchen.
Yep. Looks pretty good. Very nice.
Yeah, it's and we were excited. So my best friend, she does crypto with me. She and I got into it at the same time. Marlo, you probably see her jetting around with me, and because of crypto, we were able to afford these amazing digs. So it's great.
Congratulations. It's pretty
Thank
sweet.
you.
Looks like you got a nice view out there too. You are in, as you said earlier, the completely marijuana legal state of. What do you think of that? Speaking of living in Colorado, being a former military who is familiar with post-traumatic stress disorder, what do you think of Jeff Sessions' view on marijuana?
I'm very pro cannabis. In fact, one of my best friends, Tiffany, you'll see her running around with me too. Dr. Tiffany Graham, she's amazing. She sells CBD oil, and your body actually has cannabinoid receptors in it. So there's a lot of medicinal purposes to CBD oil and cannabis. I think alcohol's way worse than marijuana is. So I don't understand. Yeah, it's bad, right?
Amen.
Yep, sure is.
And I love the double. You're both like, look, I got my Coors Light on right there.
All right. Well, we're in Pennsylvania. They're not as pot friendly over here in the woods, the armpit of the East Coast, as we call it.
As we lovingly call it.
I thought that was Jersey.
Yeah,
that is too.
It's pretty much the same.
It's kind of like the asshole.
This is I mean, we're for all intents and purposes, we are Jersey. I mean, this part of PA and Jersey and
Yeah, we're very
It's all
close
the
to
same.
Jersey. Very close.
It's
We're
all
like
the same
30 minutes from
bullshit.
Jersey.
which
Yeah.
smell it. When we had Cantrell on, Jim, I basically asked him if he would accept my resume for his new facility, which he just signed the 25-year lease with. And he said, sure, send it. We always want people that, what did he say?
Talented individuals.
Talented individuals. I said,
Rocket scientists.
rocket science.
You're like, damn, so close. I was this close.
I've been telling my wife on the daily that we will be moving to Arizona shortly.
Thank you so much.
Oh, there
Thank
he
you.
is.
Thank you, lady.
Dog's back.
The pup is back.
Nice.
Good.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Don't
No,
worry
that's
about
all
it.
right. No, this is
Okay, I was like, not professional studio over here. It's a Friday night in Colorado Springs, and I just want to be with you guys. So you got to take
that's
the good with the bad.
And Colorado Springs is where my brother was born. That's where Mark was born, in Colorado
Really?
Springs. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, Christy and I have been talking a lot about actually moving out to Colorado, somewhere in the Midwest, maybe Arizona. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Colorado's amazing. Arizona's amazing. My dog just got out again. I'm sorry.
No
Get the hell
way!
outta here.
Dog.
This
Spartacus,
is
come here.
awesome. This is real, people.
Right? It
This
is. You want
is
to see my
real.
dog?
Does that dog have thumbs? What's going on?
How did he open that door?
Yeah. It was open. This is Spartacus.
Hey, Sparty.
Spartacus.
I am Spartacus.
This is Sparta.
Spartacus! He can't hear me.
He can't hear you.
No, he
hey,
can't. Look, there's a better-
congratulations. Blue Jay is in the Facebook chat. How to create a Facebook for this. Didn't you hear? It's cool to close your Facebook.
Hold on a minute. How did Spartacus, he doesn't have a Facebook? Or not Spartacus, sorry.
Blue Jay.
How did Blue Jay not have a Facebook, know to do the hashtag on Twitter, then go create a Facebook just to post that wallet address?
I shared the link. Well, that wallet address is Nick Wright's because he's never wrong. You have to say that if you say his name.
I know.
Well, we're live streaming on YouTube as well. Don't forget that. We're on the Corrected Axiom YouTube page, and I shared it on our Twitter, the Corrected Axiom Twitter. Hey, you can catch
Wait, that's an
Dionna
anonymous.
at Dionna_Bailey on Twitter. Hit her up. Hit her up.
How about Twitter? No more crypto promotions, advertisements. What's your take on that?
So two things. I understand it in the aspects of ICOs because just because you have an ICO and you raise all this money doesn't mean you have the people behind it that are smart enough to run a company. So if you're saying give me the money and I'll make the technology, you kind of have it backwards. The great thing about Nexus is we made the technology and we didn't take anybody's money to do it. So I love that we can still advertise because we don't advertise our crypto, we advertise our blockchain. So I don't think it'll affect us that much.
Sure. I mean, you guys have definitely changed course in the past few months, it seemed, as far as the whole plan for marketing.
For sure.
And it's definitely, I think as the growth of crypto happens, as it continues to go, I think, as I had read, what is it, like 2% of the U.S. is still only involved in crypto?
Such a minute amount.
So small.
Somebody had asked in the Slack today a bizarre question. I found it bizarre because what was he saying? Something like there's nothing proprietary about Nexus, or what is it about Nexus that gives it its market cap of 100 and something million because it's not creating anything? I don't know if either of you guys saw that in the Slack, but that question boggled my mind because obviously in the whole cryptocurrency community, you're assigning value to something based on supply and demand, but also because of a project, right? So you're looking at the future of what Nexus will be traded at now when you're buying it.
Yeah.
You're buying at $2, you know that in the future it's going to be less people willing to sell their Nexus for $2, so it's going to generate more of a price rise. Economically, Dionna, you haven't been in crypto that long, you said. What were your views economically prior to getting into crypto? Because it seems to me that a lot of people, we talk about this a lot on the show, a lot of people start to have what we, libertarian viewpoints with the economy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would almost consider myself libertarian, except I like guns in the military. So,
So do we.
Yeah, perfect. No wonder we get along so great.
I say I call myself a conservative libertarian, and I think I get through the cracks there. I slip right through.
We love libertarians. Should all love guns. I don't think you'll ever find a libertarian who doesn't. Military spending, that might be a negotiation with certain libertarians, certainly. But I think across the board, economically, if you're involved in cryptocurrency, you're inevitably going to be saying you want decentralization, which is a lessening of the powers of that be in government.
Sure. Sure. My favorite thing about crypto is so I never understood money until crypto. And I had to study like the Federal Reserve and what banks do with our money. And when you start becoming more conscious of it, to be honest with you, it really pisses you off. Because I think, God, I worked all this time. I have 5 kids, right? So I worked all those hours. I've got kids to put through school. I've got things I've got to pay for. And I'm paying so much on interest rates that it's killing me. And you have 2-income families who are barely making ends meet right now when banks are reporting billion-dollar profits for a quarter. That's ridiculous. So I love crypto because it takes this debt-based society and changes it. So if you have it, you have it. But not just that, let's reward you guys for good behavior. So when you're showing and you're contributing and you're doing what you're supposed to do for the community, you're going to make more in crypto. And that's one of the things I love the most about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, you just put your Nexus in your wallet and you just let it run. And it gives you Nexus. It just gives you Nexus.
Yeah.
Just gives it to
just
you.
for being a good contributor.
That's
thanks for playing.
Feed me, Seymour.
It's an actual,
right?
it is actual interest being paid to you,
Yep.
whereas go try to get an interest rate anywhere in the fiat system.
It's
Right?
literal.
Get that from the bank. That's not happening.
It's not happening.
Not going to happen at all.
But what's
Yeah,
really...
I was in a. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it.
I was in a bank not too long ago, and it's like put a savings account that pays 1.5%, and I was like, that doesn't even keep up with the rate of inflation. Are you kidding me? You're paying me half of what money is making.
Well, that was what I was actually getting at with this new bill, which is the Cloud Act. Have you heard anything about this, Dionna?
I haven't. You want to educate me a little?
Yeah. All right. Doc, you have the Cloud Act stuff?
Boom.
Cloud Act allows the president to enter an executive agreement with a foreign nation known for human rights abuses. Using its Cloud Act powers, police from the nation inevitably will collect Americans' communications. They can share the content of those communications with the U.S. government under the flawed significant harm test. The U.S. government can use that content against these Americans. A judge need not approve the data collected before it is carried out. At no point do they need probable cause to be shown. At no point do they need a search warrant to be obtained. I mean, I haven't had a chance to look at this much either. I don't think anybody has. I don't know if anybody, Dionna, if you saw, Doc, you probably saw it. I think you shared it, Doc. The Rand picture of how many stacks of paper were actually in this bill.
Yeah, it was over 2,000 pages. They got it 48 hours before they had to vote on it or something like that.
That's always how it works.
It's so crazy that, and so if you look at the House actually passes, budget bills like individually, per department. They actually do it the way they're supposed to do it, and the fucking Senate can't seem to get this shit together. I mean,
Crazy.
I don't even think they're really trying, obviously, but these huge omnibus bills, and then you get something like this squeezed in there because, well, you don't want to be seen as shutting down the government, which, you know what, we could all use a little government shutdown right now. And, so then you have to vote for this shit here. Dude, it's the same thing. It's the same basic shit with these gun control protests at the schools. These kids are being tricked into protesting because they want to be seen as being sympathetic towards the victims, but they don't believe in gun control, so now they're stuck in this weird spot. Same shit that's going on in government right now. How the hell could this pass? How could this pass? How could any one of them vote for this?
You know what? You know what this is great for, though? This is why we need Nexus and List. Because screw you guys. Get through my 1028 keys. I dare you. Try it.
And that's the whole thing, which is what I saw being shared constantly by Napalopoulos, whatever the hell his name is again. He posted on Twitter, actually, that exactly. This is why you need to encrypt. Mm-hmm. And it's so true. I mean, this is why crypto is a threat to the powers that be, the old guard, the financial institutes, but also governance. Because of tax purposes. Now, this is another question I had to ask you. Being new to crypto and using a BitPay wallet, as you said, are there any tax repercussions for that, or have you experienced that yet? I mean, is this a year that you had to deal with a capital gains tax, or how have you been approaching taxes?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do my taxes. I'm not really looking forward to it, especially with the going from coin to coin this year. So I haven't done it yet. We'll kind of see what happens. I'm not sure it makes sense to me because if you do it real quick, am I paying tax on something twice? So yeah, I'll let you know. We'll get back to it when my CPA gives me all my stuff. But I do have a crypto specialist, and I would always encourage people to pay your taxes because that's the side you don't want to end up on is somebody knocking on your door.
No, of course. I mean, we definitely say pay the taxes.
Yeah, I think the taxes are a great thing. Dionna,
how else are you going to get the roads and stuff, right? So
did you say that you are going to be paying taxes on crypto to crypto?
Well, that was...
Yeah, so that's what the new bill is. So last year, what happened is if you were to go coin to coin, you don't pay taxes because it's it's so considered a property if I understand it correctly, when you go from like thing to like thing, you don't pay taxes on it. So as long as I went dollar to crypto until I went crypto to dollar, that would be the only tax points.
Yeah.
But now it's if I go crypto or dollar to crypto to different coin to different coin to different coin, I'm paying taxes on each one of those transactions.
Get the fuck
You used to
outta
be
here.
safe if you stayed in the crypto realm, and now it's within it.
No, hold
They're
on.
getting you
Hold
too.
on, though. How do you assign a capital gains tax to an asset moving? Now, a fluid asset. If you're going to file your taxes today on something that drops in value 20% tomorrow, what is this based on? How is that? That sounds like mumbo jumbo.
I
There's
know.
no fucking way. That's not even possible. Who is?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's what they say. That's what they're saying they're doing. I mean, we had our tax guy, he sat down and broke it down to us and was like, this is what it means. And to me, I'm like, I don't understand. First off, if I'm on a foreign exchange, how do you even know?
Yeah.
But it's all the U.S. exchanges that are super big. And you see everything Coinbase is coming under right now that a bunch of people got subpoenaed because they're, it's for one, it's a way to make money. And for two, they're realizing they're not capitalizing on this the way they should be. So they're finding ways to do it. And then they want to squeeze it. How do you make something not successful? You tax the hell out of it. The great thing is they tried that with marijuana and we're killing it. So good luck, you guys.
Now, can they tax your Nexus if you're holding your own private keys and you are staking?
That I don't know. So to my understanding, you can't do it until you move it. So it's like you can't pay taxes on a house you don't sell, even though you pay taxes. That's probably not a good example. So never mind that. I'm not a tax person.
None of
I'm
us
an ambassador.
Let's stop talking
I'm not
about
the money person.
No, this is important shit, man.
But nobody wants to talk about it, Moses.
I
brought it up last week, and you fucking almost slapped me for it.
because I still haven't done my taxes.
I've done mine, and guess what I did? Guess.
Write it
Yes,
off.
you're gonna have to guess.
Right off everything. Right off the show. Right off those beers you're drinking because it's part of your work.
It's
It
part of
is.
our shtick.
It's all work.
Yeah, it's all entertainment.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
well, so the marijuana industry, I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but it's one of the heaviest taxed industries ever. So, because I looked into buying a dispensary when I got out of the Army, and you can't claim any of your federal deductions at all.
Yeah.
So you can't claim the products you buy, the people, like none of that, but you have to pay taxes on all of it, and you have to pay state taxes on top of it. So they're lucky if they're walking away with 20-30%, easy.
It's almost.
It's
It's
nuts.
just to drive you to not want to do it. That's all it is. They're trying to push
It
you
didn't
to
work.
realize. Well, no, it didn't work. And it doesn't make sense because they're making billions and billions of dollars just out of Colorado alone.
Well,
you know?
Pennsylvania's coming
We're on the come
around
up.
the bend.
We're on the come up.
They want $1 million. You have to have $1 million in order to even apply for the license.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
it's
Pennsylvania,
crazy.
is that how it is in Colorado?
No, it's very stringent though. Like you have to have your background checked. You have to show where all your funds are coming from. You have to list everybody that's in the industry that's going to be a part of your partnership. You have to tag every plant from seed to sale. Most of the dispensaries have to grow their own. You're not supposed to be changing it from different places. So there's a lot of just crazy. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I don't have time to deal with that. That's just too much for me.
That's a lot of work.
Did you see the new
I'll
study?
smoke it.
I'll
throw
just
it.
smoke it. Fuck it. Who
Did
needs
you
to
see
sell it?
the study about they tested? I think it was Colorado weed. They tested street weed versus medical weed versus legal dispensary weed.
And what'd they find?
They found that there's a new syndrome from the shit they're spraying on it to keep bugs from eating it.
The pesticides?
Yeah, look up this. Have you heard of that, Dionna?
Yep.
What is? There's a syndrome they're actually calling from it. Like it's attacking people's nervous systems or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
Monsanto.
pesticides. But the same. Here's the thing: is
DuPont.
so you want to go ahead and make a big deal about this, but what does Walmart do on their fruits and vegetables?
Right.
So they just want to point out marijuana because it's already got that faux pas. But God forbid anybody attack Walmart or McDonald's with the shit they put in their food.
Yeah,
I
for
just-
real.
I
Yo,
find it-
who's calling
who
you?
is
Pick
that?
up the damn phone.
It's Colin.
It's Colin.
Tell him
Colin's
to
like,
It's
stop talking
like,
about this shit.
It's me on the marijuana.
No, because I'm the forever conspiracy theorist, and to me it seems odd that it's all because that whole study they did, the street weed was less likely to have this shit, it was dispensaries that had this. You know, this
Well,
certain
yeah, because
chemical.
street weed is grown in homes or like these small little tiny areas. But when you have medical and recreational, you're talking like huge warehouses that are grow houses. So of course you're more susceptible to buy. It's no different than any farmer. You know, farmers do the same thing. It's just farming.
Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about this, Doc.
No, I didn't hear about this.
I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but second half of the show is all me just fucking ruining your high, dude. Not that you're high.
No, I don't smoke anymore. But
I
if
know.
I did, it would ruin it.
I
And
mean,
you can't kill this Jack Buzz.
Metaphysically talking about a high.
Metaphysically high.
And pesticides.
So my mom's like a forever hippie. Sorry, I didn't have to cut you off, but my mom's like a huge hippie, and she happened to be in Colorado the weekend that they made it recreational.
Oh,
so I take her to a dispensary, and she's like, I never thought I'd see the day when it was legal. We're like taking pictures in the dispensary, which you can do out front, you can't do in the back. But it was so cute because you see all these hippies so excited. And then even though like marijuana has a bad name to it, but with Colorado, like my kid has a brand new school. They all have iPads in it. I was in Arizona not too long ago and seeing that they're laying off teachers left and right because they're just not getting the same benefits from an industry we tapped into that they didn't. So, you know, you take the good with the bad.
It makes sense.
Are you teaching your kids about crypto?
Oh, absolutely. So my 9-year-old and my 12-year-old are actually coding already. I have them.
Wow.
I have a private tutor that comes. Thanks to crypto. I have a private tutor that comes. And my older two, the 15-year-old and 19-year-old, we're learning how to mine together. So I'm setting up mining rigs for Nexus.
Very nice. Yeah, I mine a little Nexus in the off time. Very little amount of
We're going to be
Nexus,
setting
but-
up a node once the mesh network is in place.
Yep. I picture it as just like this old IBM computer with a green screen.
Sounds like that.
Yeah. It's as big as a refrigerator.
Right?
It probably won't have to be, but that's the one I choose. That's what.
And
I
then like
choose.
a week later, you're like, "Fuck! I made 1/10 of a coin. What the hell?"
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
For $600 in electricity.
Right.
That's how I felt when I was CPU mining Nexus, because the CPU miner for Nexus, it's just not profitable.
I still am CPU mining.
Are you really?
Just
Have you
yeah.
gotten paid out?
No.
No. That's what I'm talking about.
Deanna, can you explain that to me? What am I doing wrong?
Okay, I'm just learning. I'm not there yet.
So I GPU mine, and that's actually profitable if you have a good video card. And I'm just, I get like 5 Nexus every 5 days or so. And now that video cards, you could buy video cards now again. Which
No
is
way!
Nice. Yeah. So I bought the one for this computer, the studio computer. It was like $500 whenever that was. December I
How
bought
much
that.
is it now?
$600. But
nothing.
right before it was sold out, they were selling them for $900. Yeah. So they're becoming a little more profitable. I might scoop one of those.
Gamers want to kill Bitcoiners.
Yeah, but you know what? I was watching this video, and this kid made a good point. It's not only crypto. It's not just the mining and the video gaming. It's the other what they use those plants for other industries. So like smartphones and other smart devices and shit that use memory and chips. They're hitting all angles. So they're not spending as much time on the video cards. But
yeah, so the rate of technology actually doubles every 18 months. So I give it another year or two, and I bet mining will be a lot easier. I don't think it'll be too long when you see it done like on your smartphone. You can just sit there or you stake on your smartphone.
Yeah.
And you're able, you're not using up the resources. So just wait for it. It's coming.
That actually was what I was about to jump and ask you, which is, can we expect a Tritium app?
Can you expect a Tritium app?
Yeah, for your phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Like initially.
No, yeah.
Right away.
Now.
Like what?
Like when it happens.
Unplug me.
How exciting is that? And I mean, you would be staking then with your phone.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense because, if I'm at work, the phone's in the locker just chilling. Might as well be
Yeah.
staking some Nexus.
Right. And your phones are always on, and they're almost always connected to the internet.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you? It's like so just give it time. It's not going to be long before that happens.
Yeah, and I'll get the free Wi-Fi from work. Perfect.
And you'll go to jail for stealing Wi-Fi for alternative reasons.
I'm not stealing Wi-Fi.
Not stealing, but I'm sure.
Utilizing.
Just borrowing
Utilizing.
Wi-Fi.
I'm sure at that point, I mean, people still are completely freaked out by cryptocurrency. People that don't understand.
They don't understand.
No, they don't. You know, and we have friends that we put onto crypto, and their hands are weak. You know, we have a friend that sold everything because Keith.
Because of Keith.
Because Keith
Is Keith still on?
Because Keith shit posted something on Twitter.
Listen, I got to say something here.
Tell the story.
Only if you tell your story.
Which story?
Your wallet story.
All right, I'm next.
All right, would you tell that story? All right, check it out.
I'll tell that.
Here's the thing. You know, God love Keith Smith. Dionna, you know Keith.
Yeah, he's amazing.
You know, Dionna, you know Keith.
To know Keith is to love Keith. To love Keith is to know Keith. He is brilliant. He is the one who introduced me to Nexus 3 years ago. I didn't listen to him. So pretty much anything he says now, I make sure to pay attention to it. But that being said, Keith is also King Troll. I hope that he is still watching right now. Keith, if you're there. Or Rhea, if you're watching, go grab Keith so he can hear what he did. But on a given basis, on a given day, Keith will say 10 real statements on Twitter and then 10 bullshit statements on Twitter. Usually, and the best way to tell usually is if he spells Bitcoin. And that's an easy way to tell. He's not being sincere when he uses the term Bitcoin, obviously. But what Keith did the other day was Keith posted, much like he does many a time, well, looks like the crypto market is dying. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but everybody needs to sell all of their crypto right now. Now, obviously, somebody who knows Keith as well as I know Keith, and pretty much anybody who's come into contact with Keith at some point in time will realize that he is trolling and trolls be trolling, and that was a troll move. Nobody knows exactly why he does it. Is it just to give himself some sick pleasure in finding stupid people to believe in these nonsensical statements in which he posts on his Twitter ambiguously? No. Is it even worse? Is it that he is trying to drive down a market that has a lot of people with weak hands who hear somebody who is as brilliant as Keith, who's been in cryptocurrency as long as Keith, say something like this and actually believe him and take him at his word and then sell for an 80% loss all of their cryptocurrency because of one tweet?
Why? Why would you do that?
And why would you not listen to me when I immediately say to you, Keith is a troll.
King Troll.
King Troll. I showed then a tweet that he had said 10 minutes later, which was, I'm really bullish on library, bro, or whatever it is. Library card. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't real. But rest in peace to Sal.
Hashtag weak hands.
Weak hands.
Aw, sorry, Sal.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
I wasn't going to say his name, but
I got to switch out.
hashtag weak hands.
Hashtag weak hands.
I mean, and it's a true story that just happened the other day. And I mean, constantly, I'm using Keith as an example. I'm like, oh, Keith, you know, he was so on the money. Everything he always said was right on the money. And I should have listened to him in 2014 when he first told me about Nexus, and I didn't, and now I listen to him. And then they come back, and this happens with everybody. Greg sends it to me. Mm-hmm. Everybody else send me just a screenshot of Keith's latest tweet, and it's like, gonna sell all my Bitcoin to buy Venezuelan dollars because this is the future. I'm like, that's not real. Don't believe him when he says that.
Well, the fact that you have to point that out is the sad part.
Right. Well, I mean,
which is why we have sad music.
But then, like, he'll post that pigeon everywhere, you know, and then you're like, oh, he's just fucking around. Well, he's posting a pigeon. But then you hear him post something. I can't believe it. This is what he said, though. I can't believe I'm about to say this, guys. But I think everybody needs to sell all their crypto right now.
And then Sal goes, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm
that
out.
Was it. He texted me. I'm out.
Damn it! You should have posted. Send all your crypto to Dionna.
Yo, for real, give it
Keith,
away.
if you're still listening, if you could post that, Deanna's requested your next post
I
about
think,
Bitcoin.
yeah.
I mean, he's got to know that that's gonna happen. I mean, he thinks it's funny. We all think it's funny, but when it happens to somebody you know and you care about, it just pisses you off.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, I'm not pissed at Keith. I'm pissed at Sal.
No, yeah, of course. But you know what? The market is filled with people like this, though.
Yeah.
That all it takes is one shit post, and I'm out. That's it. I'm done. And it's like we can't get this market to revive itself. And God damn it, I need it to revive itself. I'm getting married in November.
Deanna, where do you see the market going in the short term, long term?
I think the fact that the SEC jumped in is huge. I think to be validated as a true thing, you have to have regulation. And the fact that they're jumping in to regulate it means it's headed for something so much bigger.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, you look at, I think there's enough people behind these forces propelling it that it's not going anywhere. It's here. Whichever one gets adopted, Nexus, whichever one really becomes the one at the end, you know, is up for grabs, but I don't think it's going anywhere as an industry, not by any means.
Do you think, seriously, that Nexus not only will compete with Bitcoin, but could take over as the dominant blockchain?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's, you know, a year ago or back in July, if you would have asked me any of these questions, I would have been like, did you go to Colorado and smoke all the weed there or something? Because there's no way this is happening. But the more I'm in it, the more people I meet, the more research I do, the more people that are getting involved in the project that see it for what it is. It's a game changer.
I love what your dog is doing right now because
You know,
just last week, 2 weeks ago,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let Doc tell you a story.
I forgot.
It's Doc's story time now.
So we had there's no sad music for this though. We had Preston on. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And every time he would talk, like we would be, me and Moses would be going back and forth, yeah, yapping, and then Preston would start talking, and his dog would start slamming the dog bowl around the table. It's like hitting it with a wooden spoon and shit.
Right.
So then he, like after a while, he's like, all right, hold on, guys, I'm so sorry. Let me get rid of the dog. He gets rid of that dog, and there's another dog under the table.
Like, what is your dog doing now? Playing motorboats?
I'm like, we're like, what the hell is that? So we could hear it in the headphones so loud. So he's talking about Nexus. He's talking about blockchain. He's making all these great points. Libertarian Party, this and that.
And we start crying.
And we're dying. I am literally crying my fucking eyes out. If you want to see that video, go to the YouTube channel, Corrected Axiom.
I want to see it.
Yeah, please go there, subscribe. Or fucking, it's pathetic. Our channel is so sad, but we got some great content on there.
Yeah, well, and we got rejected from. Should I even say that? I was about to just talk about our inside baseball about people who reject us for interviews. Should I?
Yeah, fuck it.
We're in overtime.
Yeah,
It's 10
go.
o'clock.
Hey, Deonna, congratulations. You are the first guest to last the full 2-hour show. Yeah, that's awesome.
Look, Spartacus is excited too. He's
Spartacus
cheering
is
for
like,
it.
he's like, I'm trying to get outside,
like-
man.
Hey, pup!
Spartacus, man, that's a good-looking dog right there.
He's awesome. I love it. Where we're gonna put him in the garage where he's quiet. Come
It
here.
was real creepy the way I said that. Man, that's a good-looking dog.
I
right
sure
there.
would like to rub that dog's belly down if that's all right.
Sure. Yeah, you
So,
can rub his belly. Get it.
So at the Nexus conference, we met David Seaman of YouTube fame, of Pizzagate fame was Jack is in me, boy. Pizzagate fame was there, and real weird. All right, so we were on our way to Aspen, and we were seeing David Seaman like going live from the Nexus conference. He's standing in front of a Nexus conference banner. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm at this crypto conference. We're talking about Ethereum. And for whatever reason, he would not say Nexus. It was so fucking mind-boggling. So I didn't get to talk to him, but you talked to him there. And he was like, yeah, we'll do an interview. He just said, no way. I'm not interested.
You guys don't have any likes on YouTube.
Like, you got less than 100 subscribers.
True story, Deonna. We were once... a pretty deep, no, I don't even say we were that great. I mean, we had YouTube videos, and we had some people. I mean, a couple of our music videos that were promoting Ron Paul's candidacy in 2012 had gotten some good traction and lots of views. Then we were down there for the RNC to support him, along with the rest of the delegates from across the country, as they completely had stolen that nomination from him. So we were down there for this, and we filmed some of the shady tricks that the RNC had done, some of the delegates talking outside, plotting at what was called Paul Fest, saying, like, they're changing the rules. And I honestly believe that they took our YouTube channel down because we were posting those videos that were showing what was happening at the RNC. And we have just started trying to rebuild our YouTube account. And I'm pretty sure, I think David should be able to relate to that, being that they just took his YouTube channel down.
Yep.
For questioning the media's reaction and use of these school shootings the way they did.
Sure. So this goes back to it's censored information. Who are you to tell me my opinion and what people should hear and not hear? That's my opinion, right? We have freedom of speech, but you don't have like freedom of internet. It's bullshit.
Yeah. YouTube's going down in flames at this point. It's pretty much everybody's consensus this is the equivalent to book burning right now. You can't silence somebody who has a dissenting point of view or just a differing point of view. It's pretty crazy, Yeah. But again, I guess he don't want to talk to us because then he looked at our YouTube account and was like, "These guys only got like 80 likes." So if you guys are losers, anybody watching this, please just out of pity for us,
just
our Corrected Axiom channel. You get notified when we post these great videos, like the video of Preston trying to talk over his dog snoring,
and I'm crying. I'm literally crying. I got tears coming down my eyes.
Or the coming Dionna video with her dogs making that high pitched sound in the background.
If my kids would have been here, you'd have heard the same sound effects with my kid. My youngest one is like the gassiest thing in the world. And
I can relate. I have a 4-year-old. That's what I meant. I have a 4-year-old.
Oh, okay.
He can relate. He's been farting this whole entire time.
That's small studio. How I took it. For you.
Hey, I want to get into something because I said that I was going to get into something. So it's a little sidebar with ADD with Moses here.
I'm not. This is your segment.
No, this is mine, but it's sidebar.
All right.
It's ADD. Let's ride the ADD.
Ride the wave.
This just in. Local news.
Yeah, baby. Dug that out.
They've got chambers of commerce.
Well,
I didn't know that this was local news.
I dug that out of the crates.
This to me. I didn't know this was local.
All right, so I wanna share a story with you that is sure to piss you off. Local to us, a mom stands up to a dental bullying when dentist threatens to call CPS over missed dental appointments. So I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here on this picture. Not her. That's the mom. That's Trey. I've actually reached out to her. She should be watching. Yo, what up, Trey, if you're watching? We support you. Let's see if we could scroll in here. So this is actually very local to us. This is a dentist in the Poconos where we're located, right here in Bartonsville. They have an office. So in this letter, it might be a little hard to read. It says, Dear Parent, at Smiles for Keeps, maybe I shouldn't have said the name. Our goal is to keep children as healthy as possible through education, regular dental checkups, blah, 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 fuckery. According to law, failure to bring your child to dental care is considered neglect. Pennsylvania Act 31 Child Abuse Reporting and Recognition Requirement states that healthcare providers must report your failure to bring your child to the dentist for evaluation and care. So, since this law is in effect, we hope this letter encourages you to schedule an appointment to follow through with needed dental treatment for your child. So, on the surface here, it really looks like they are using some intimidation tactics here and some fear-mongering of some sort of lawful, I don't know what the hell they're getting at here, but you know what I'm saying? This is local to us. So
this is Bartonsville. Holy crap.
This is right here. I mean, Bartonsville is literally 5 minutes from where we are. So this is where we're at.
I don't like saying where we're at.
Well, it is where we are at. I mean, they know that
somewhere
now.
in the vicinity of
within a 5-minute radius, apparently. Parents all over social media are in uproar over a letter posted by a Pennsylvania mother from her children's dentist office. This is not good. This is just like another encroachment on what? You don't like my use of that word?
I was laughing at Nick Wright. He ain't never wrong.
He ain't never wrong.
Wait, so they're mad at the dentist or the mom? Like, who's going off on who?
So the dentist is sent this letter to the mom for basically not bringing her kids back there. And
who's the community mad at?
They're mad at the dentist for trying to fearmonger the mom into going back to his office. So basically, she states in a in her own man, I can't fucking think right now. In her own reply that. Particular parent does not go into the patient area with their child. These are the reasons why she didn't go back to Smiles for Keeps. Fuck, not Smiles for Keeps. Parent does not go into patient area with their child. The parent does not meet the dentist. They only meet the hygienist.
What?
Only one appointment for procedures, fillings per day. So if parent has more than one child, she has to come in on different days, or they. And they will report you if you don't respond to them. What? Yeah, that's a big one. Sorry. There he is.
There he is.
Dr. Ross Wesmar. We'd love to have you on the show to give your side of the story. We're not liable anybody or whatever the proper term is for that.
This is not trading advice.
He's got a
financial advice.
This is not dental advice.
Always have that disclaimer.
But he also responded, and we can go into his response. It's only fair.
Let me hear it.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
We appreciate feedback from our patients and potential patients. However, the online conversation failed to remain focused on facts. Smiles for Keeps wishes to clarify the following points. The letter in question refers to dentists' legal obligation to report dental neglect to the proper authorities. It's in the guidelines on oral and dental aspects of child abuse and neglect. The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry defines the term and clarifies its importance. Check it out in a PDF form if you like. Dental neglect, as defined by them, is the willful failure of a parent or guardian to seek and follow through with treatment necessary to ensure a level of oral health essential for man, this is a running fucking sentence. Essential for adequate function and freedom from pain and infection. So that's like by the end of it, you're just done. Hey, what's going on over there?
Hey, so this is the amazing Dr. Tiffany Graham that I was telling you about, and I just wanted to throw her on because you're talking about the dentist, and I thought she'd be really interested as a doctor.
Oh, so, please.
Yeah, I'll give you a little recap. A local dentistry over here in the Poconos. I'm sorry, I keep moving this thing.
And just so you know, Doc has been pretending to be a doctor for 10 years.
Absolutely.
To be speaking with a real doc is
it's a little humbling,
yeah.
I will say, yeah. So basically, she didn't bring her kids back to this dentist's office, and because she didn't make any follow-up appointments, they sent this letter to her house threatening her to follow up with Pennsylvania Act 31, basically saying that it's neglect on her part for not getting the proper dental care and oral care for her children. So social media over here in the local community is in an uproar, obviously, because they're looking at this as kind of like fear-mongering. What is your take on this story that you just found out about literally right now?
Well, pretty much, if you have to threaten people to come into your practice, you might not be doing a very good job.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, Dr. Ross. There he is.
Can you see that? We're showing the picture. We're showing the picture of the man.
I don't know if you're spoken for at all, but does this look like the kind of guy you would take on a date here? Trustworthy?
No.
I don't know, Dr. Ross.
He is a doctor.
He is a doctor. You have that in common. That's
but he has to threaten people to come into his practice, though.
Well, it seems like it. His response is that he's just basically doing what he's obligated to do as a dentist to make sure he's informing the proper authorities that you're not bringing your kids back to get their teeth.
So he's saying he's in proper step with the law. And I'd just like to point out that if this law was really enforced, if they went 10 miles to our south to a town called Bangor, Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure that they could arrest 40,000 parents because kids lose their teeth. I'm talking about their final teeth by age 18. Nobody's got teeth in Bangor.
There's another dentist here, Dr. Rich Grossman. By the way, WNEP 16 is investigating.
No shit.
All right, they're investigating this. This popped off yesterday, so they're moving quick. He says it's highly unethical, and I think it's used as a scare tactic, actually, to scare parents to bring their kids to those offices. Exactly what you just said. So that verifies the thought there. Definitely.
Attaching the tooth to the toe bar.
What are you talking about?
I'm reading Nick's statements out loud right now.
All right. Well, we just sidebarred. We were just sidebarring with that. I just want to share that because it pissed me the hell off.
What do you think of that, being a practicing doctor in Colorado?
Well, I think that medical freedom is so important that you should be able to choose what you do with your children. I'm a very huge advocate for medical freedom, specifically also even with vaccinations, huge advocate for that. So if someone's going to force me to take my child to a dentist, which there's no laws saying that you have to get dentistry necessarily even for your children. It's just a common practice.
We have your title up there as a real doctor. You know, ironically, just before the show here tonight, me and my wife are having a baby, and we had to go to the doctor, and they gave her a stress test, which they told us was a normal thing, that we're not a high-risk pregnancy at all. She's doing about 3 weeks now. And they said everything came back great. And then they did another sonogram, and then they told us to come back next week for yet another sonogram and yet another stress test. Being a doctor, does that sound like somebody's trying to attack my insurance because I have decent insurance, or is that does that sound anywhere near the normal routine?
Well, my professional training is in chiropractic, so I can't speak for obstetrics. That's not my specialty, but I haven't heard of the stress test being done on any. I work with pregnant patients all the time, and I haven't heard of that being done. But I mean, you try to trust your provider. So if you don't trust them, maybe you should choose a different provider.
This just happened today.
Oh, okay.
It just happened before
We got
I came
3 weeks to go here. So
Yeah.
How long have you been?
That would be a tough one. That would be a tough one.
How long have you been practicing chiropractic work?
For over 7 years.
7 years. My grandfather is a chiropractor. He's
Nice.
92 years old. He still practices 3 days a week.
Oh,
That's
wow.
where I get my name from. He is the real Dr. Seymour Mac
real
Goldstein.
Dr. Seymour.
The most
that's-
Jewish fucking name you could ever have in your life, Dr. Seymour Mac Goldstein.
He gets it cracking.
He gets it cracking. That's a good one. Hey, if you want to use that tagline for your practice, by all means, go ahead.
Some people call us crack addicts.
Crack
Nice.
That's a good one. I like.
No, I always heard that dentists had the best sense of humor, but I think chiropractors do. I like the chiropractors. I like it.
Yeah.
You do, right?
I do it all the time.
He's got problems. You might be able to help him here.
Nobody can help me. Not even Seymour
I know.
Mac.
I know docs all across the country.
Yeah. Yeah, he's practicing in Brooklyn, Marine Park. So if you're ever in Brooklyn, Evan, you are.
Man.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Stop on in. Tell him you know me. You know the fake Seymour Mac. What happened to Dionna? What? She fell down?
She's feeding my daughter some spaghetti.
I'm coming back.
She's coming back.
SpaghettiOs.
Sorry if I'm-
SpaghettiOs.
No spaghetti. No spaghetti. Sorry if I'm boring.
You're all right.
No, you're
Come
not
on.
boring at all.
I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
you're into crypto also?
Yes, absolutely. I believe it's going to change healthcare, so that's one of the reasons I'm really interested in it.
How so?
Well, first of all, medical records.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest ways. Easy. That's an easy thing, though. But I really, because it changes and makes intermediaries obsolete, or it can change the relationship of having to have a third party, I believe that it's going to change the insurance.
Yeah.
I want to see it change the insurance in our medical system, because as a provider, we have to wait. I mean, we've had to wait a year for claims. When we have a contract that says if we provide a service, they will pay a certain amount, and then they just deny. Well, with smart contracts, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd be no wasted money there, no fees, no hidden bullshit fees.
Well, and we spend twice the amount per capita on healthcare than the next country behind us, which is England. We spend twice per capita on healthcare, and I really think that that's a shame. And we're not healthier than anywhere else in the world.
Do you think that cryptocurrencies could help drive down the outrageous costs for insurance?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's still to be determined on how, but I really believe that giving people like things like HSAs, where people have more of responsibility, but also more control over their money and how they allocate their money for healthcare purposes. I think more natural healthcare and less invasive procedures will be used if it's more direct peer-to-peer instead of just this big insurance company that's supposed to pay for everything. And then these doctors overcharge these insurance companies, like possibly what's happening with you right now.
Yeah. What do you think about like rolling back Obamacare and all the moves Trump's trying to make in that direction? You think that's a good thing?
I don't know all the details of that. I'm not a huge fan of how it just hasn't worked. The premiums have skyrocketed. Nobody's getting any better coverage other than people who, with some pre-existing, there's certain people who are getting better coverage, but for the overall population, I just don't think it's efficient enough. And I really think cryptocurrency is going to make a change in that.
Yeah, I think the people who are getting better coverage because of Obamacare are the ones who are driving the prices up because, like you said, they have pre-existing conditions already. They're more prone to be in the hospital and have this spending go up. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think, you return it to the states. Let people decide. Let them have a choice. Let them be able to, buy insurance if they want insurance or if they don't want insurance or if they want insurance that's in Colorado versus where we are in PA. I mean, people should have that freedom to do that,
Just real quick, also, what's your viewpoint on should I pay my taxes in crypto?
Why are you bringing this up?
I think you should follow the laws.
All right. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's an asset? Do you think it's a currency? Or how do you pay taxes on the moving of one asset to another? How do you do that?
Well, I think the whole thing where if you move between currencies, I see that as being a little bit too much like trading currencies. But if you cash it out into USD, I can totally see why you would want to pay taxes on that, right?
Right. I'm with you.
And I also think it's not very clear. Like accountants don't know how to, like a lot of accountants don't even know. I don't know if you've experienced that, but a lot of accountants don't know what to do yet, or they're learning. So.
I mean, I would love to try to get an accountant who's saying that they're tackling this. Dionna, maybe you could put us in touch with the one that, I don't think she can hear me. Anyway, just tell her. I
can hear you. I can hear you.
Get us in touch with that accountant who's working with you because we'd like to try to get somebody on the air to help because that's an honest question that a lot of people have. Yeah. I mean, at least they should have.
Well, it's on everybody's mind. Just most people don't say it like 3 or 4 times during a podcast like you.
Oh, I do because I need to. I think your dog's playing tiddlywinks. Is that your dog?
No, that's her daughter.
Oh, okay.
Eating spaghetti. That's my daughter eating her spaghetti.
She's eating her spaghetti like a good girl.
Yeah, she's sitting on the island eating her spaghetti.
Awesome. Hey, well, we want to thank you for tuning in and joining us. Thank you for giving your perspective. A real doctor, everybody. You don't have to deal with the fake doctor anymore. Dionna, thank you for joining us also. It was lovely.
Thanks for having me, you guys. It was awesome.
Thanks for being here for the whole entire show. That's never been done before.
You're the first.
You're entertaining. Of all the shows I've been on, I think you guys... No, I'm not going to say that because everybody's going to yell at me. But you guys were very entertaining.
No, say it.
We know what you're thinking.
Say it. You could.
Yeah, I just had. We jive. I got you.
Hey, come back on. We tell everybody, come back on. But for real, come back on every week if you want. Every Friday.
Absolutely.
You hit us up.
No, please. I have a life, you guys.
Hey, look, if we're in the middle of a show and we're like talking to Elon Musk on Skype, you got our Skype. Just buzz right in, right in the middle of that.
We'll merge you in.
We'll
with
merge
Elon.
you right in
Love
with
it.
the president, whoever. Oh, I'm not sure who's coming on next week. We usually don't book it till Thursday.
Former president.
But it's between the president or Elon Musk. You guys are
Yes.
for your 80 likes, you're killing it.
Yeah. Well, they're 80 quality likes. Okay.
That's all that
likes
matters.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was interesting and it was definitely entertaining. And we hope to have you back on soon. And congratulations on the crypto crib.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
That's a new reoccurring segment for our show too.
Crypto
I think
crib.
it should be. Crypto cribs.
Every guest we have on. All right, bring us around the room. Let's see what's going on. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of nerds in the corner coding and just wearing dirty, ripped sweatpants. All right, girls, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye, you guys.
See you later. Man, that was awesome. That was a good show.
Good show.
That was a good show. Where'd it go? My computer's going so slow right now. it shouldn't be. Oh man, thank you for tuning in. It's been a Jewish. It's been a Jewish ride. It was Jewy there for a while. I liked it.
Why was it Jewy?
Because I'm Jewy.
If anything, me discussing tax code is Jewy. More Jewy than you talking about an anti-dentite.
You can't say that.
Being an anti-dentite.
I could say that, but you can't say that.
See, you're not a Seinfeld fan. That's the least Jewy thing about you. You didn't even catch that reference.
Because I'm closing tabs. Look, man, you got one job on Crypto and Chat. That's to chat. All right? I got to run this operation here. I don't get enough respect, Moses. We're coming off the rails here. We're super overtime right now.
We're super overtime.
Super overtime.
I can't believe how Dionna... Oh, look, Asayu just joined us right now.
Oh, yeah, just like Asayu.
Paulie said, great show.
Thank you, Paulie. Let's bring up some Chattanoogan. Some Chattanoogan. Great show, fellas. Thank you, guys. Your 80 likes are superior to people who have 80,000 likes on their channels. That is true.
Who said that?
Nobody. I'm just making that up.
I thought you just read a comment.
No.
How does your speech pattern sound like you're reading?
Because I am reading. It's the back of my eyelids. Congratulations to
Blue Jay
Thy
Way.
Must Nexus for winning the 110 Nexus from the community itself. How many Nexus did we give away?
Didn't we do 2 sets of 3?
3 to each?
Yeah.
So congratulations also then to
Nick
Wright and Blue Jay, who made a Facebook profile just for this and just in time for it to get sold to some third party. Don't add any pictures, man. Delete it immediately. Blue Jay, you're going to want to share your Nexus wallet address with us. You can send it privately or here in the chat. Nick, I got yours already, bro. You already know. Nick Wright.
Make sure...
Can't be wrong.
Make sure you're... Never mind.
What's up? What's up, man?
I was going to say go over... I mean, is it even worth trying to get people to our YouTube? I mean...
Yeah, it's worth trying to get people to our YouTube. Of course it is. We've got a lovely YouTube channel. Let's take a... let's
take a gander.
Let's take a gander. You know what we got to make? We got to make an intro video for the channel. You want to do that live right now?
Yeah, sure.
All right. A little music, maybe?
You guys watching right now are a part of history.
You guys are about to be a part of our... We're about to record our YouTube welcome video. I probably shouldn't be showing you where we're stealing this music from.
It doesn't matter.
It matters now. All right, this is free music, I think.
In a world where cryptocurrencies were spoken about by many novices and people who know nothing about the technology, there stood a team of two complete novices who know nothing about cryptocurrency. But shill for Nexus on a regular basis.
Shill like nobody's business.
Like nobody's watching.
All right, let's start over. All right, here we go. Hey, welcome everybody to Crypto and Chat. I am Seymour Mack.
And I'm Moses Flows.
And we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but we want to...
we want to make sure that you do not acknowledge any of the stuttering doctors that instead focus on my flow of conscious.
Focus.
We want to thank you for joining us every week on Fridays at 8 o'clock when we live stream on both YouTube and Facebook until we move to DTube because the government is going to completely destroy their spy apparatus known as Facebook to the point that there is no longer a reason to operate within its confines. At which point,
This intro video sucks. Hey, you're here. We're here. We're talking about crypto. We're talking about conspiracy theories. We're talking about everything you thinking about. So why don't you subscribe and hit the little notification bell because you know what? Our numbers are pathetic and we feel really sad about it.
Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We'll send you crypto. Might happen. Might not happen.
We always give away Nexus. We'll do it another time. We'll do it offline.
Are you into crypto?
Do you not even know what Nexus is?
Hey, let me tell you about Nexus, everybody.
I got to get you a new microphone or a new cable.
What if I told you you could be a crypto millionaire? This is not financial advice. With Sun Mining, you can mine Ethereum and Litecoin. Mine Ethereum.
Have you been seeing
Litecoin?
Have you, back to what one thing we were talking about. Have you been seeing all those Bitcoin ads on YouTube lately? I haven't.
No, I haven't.
They've been gone with the wind.
No shit.
Yep. So Google announced that they were banning crypto ads along with Facebook, along with the YouTubes owned by Google, right? So you're right, man. That does say John Vibes. I'll have to change it afterwards.
You didn't believe me? I fucking read the...
It says it up here, though. If you look up top, that's YouTube right there.
Yeah.
Dionna Bailey. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Super overtime. Welcome to the next show. Shillin' and chillin'.
Make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and like. Tune in for all your crypto and chat. Don't forget, we are also chatting it up. Most of the time when we chat's got nothing to do with all that crypto crap. It's mostly just off the top of the trap. So therefore, join us, like, and make sure you subscribe. YouTube is a dying platform. We'll see you on DTube in a couple of months. Peace out.
That was pretty good. Mr. Blaze? Congratulations to Nick Wright. He ain't never wrong. And Blue Jay. Chillin' and chillin'. I love that.
Welcome to Shillin' and Chillin' with Doc and Mose.
Welcome to Shillin' and Chillin'. We're going to be shilling Nexus. We're going to be chillin'.
That's a way better name.
Chillin' and Chillin' with Nexus and Will.
Hey, we're going to take a vote next show. We're taking a vote next show to change the name from Crypto and Chat to Shillin' and Chillin'.
Make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe and like. Hey, make sure you go to our website, correctedaxiom.com. Make sure you go to arrestpodesta.com. Make sure you realize that you're living in a satanic police state. Make sure you realize.
You better realize.
Make sure you realize. Make sure you realize most of your politicians are satanic pedophiles.
All right, that's the show.
Prime for the 5th time when I rip rhymes to give I'm giving you what I'm living. I ain't gotta make the stories, I'm showing you how I get mine. It's plain to see the dedication by my sweat line. The best buy, you need to put some credit on the check sign and hand it over, cause it's easily I rep mine. Great minds think alike so easily, we meant tight. Go and tip your hats to the squad that won't back down. Go and fuck the act out, get that ass dragged out by the D. OL fucker, please know that well who we be. It's the fucking dream team. Go and tip your hats to the squad that won't back down. Get that ass dragged out by the D. OL fucker, please know that well who we be. It's the fucking dream team. When I get hyped, stop dropping roll, cause I might start spitting flames like a hyperactive exhaust pipe. Your boys might pop off, they might not. Cause when you see the heat steam up, it's tight hot. Yeah. Yo, so keep your cool like ice pops. And I don't give a damn, I'm hood, I fight pops. Yeah. You lame cats, so you pop this bottles. Got an all black 9-year Glock with hollows. So fall back, you ain't got no medical. You know better, dude, cause the shots are follow. Hot shells in your mouth like you copped the taco. A damn shame, and he popped the lotto. Ironic, your chick grabbed the cock and